Let's go to Chris, 97.1. Chris, what's going on, bud?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey,
Good.
Chris.
All right. So, yeah, I think option C with a caveat, and I'll explain it. So I think you try to get as much out of him as you can because with the multiple surgeries and stuff, I don't think he's worth the money like the other guy was saying. But the caveat is the Cam Ward. If we're keeping it a buck and they ask, I'm going to try to trade him right at the trade deadline and try to get something from him if you guys aren't, with a winning record. Now, I've seen some of the other trade packages, and I'm a Mets and a Tigers fan. I saw the Mets package, and I wouldn't do it as a Mets fan, in all honesty. And I wonder if the Tigers are kind of looking at this with the lockout in mind in the upcoming year with the possible cap or floor with the salaries. I just was kind of curious what you thought about that, Mike.
Well, I'm telling you, my fear in all of this, and Chris, I'm glad you brought this up. I was intentional that I didn't make it a part of the initial presentation. I think if the Dodgers win this thing, you're going to see a lengthy lockout. I think you're going to have labor war after this season, like a nuclear
if the
winter.
Dodgers win it.
Because, again, they've done everything to circumvent rules,
Yeah.
the deferred money, the endless spending, owning their own TV network. The rest of the league is not happy. Now, if there's a stoppage, it throws everything into chaos, including if you decide to go down this road and pay him or not. So, look, yes, I think we're headed for a labor war. Now, if we put that to the side and we just deal with what 2026 looks like, I think Tiger fans have to ask themselves a question. And it's not a fun one. You have to ask yourself, are the last 2 years because we're good or because this division, if we keeping it a buck, is ass? This division features one team that's getting sold. Now it's not, but it is, but the payroll's always going down. The Guardians, who got a new minority owner and somehow got cheaper. The Royals, who are dead as a doorknob, and the White Sox, who did get sold and suck. It's 4 of the lowest payrolls in the league, and then you. It's a bad division. If you think last 2 years have something to do with the fact you don't play in a real division, then trading him doesn't hurt that much because you're not good enough in the first place.
That's interesting.
And it's not a fun question. I know that.
No, that's
I try.
That's mind blowing right
No,
now.
it's
no. I mean,
just-
I think both things can be true, but you're right. You're not anywhere else, so you're going to be still stuck in this division. So
If I trade him, I free up the money I was going to pay him, and I can get 3 ball players for that.
and you probably can still compete and win this division.
Hello. Where's that stupid drop? Not that you're stupid. Where's that?
No,
damn thing? There it is. 248-539-9797. More of your phone calls coming up next. Hungry Howie's Pizza, they got you covered. Football-a-palooza. You got Monday Night Football coming up. Lions are going to play amazing. I feel it in my bones. Order some pizza. Hungry Howie's. They got Detroit-style pizza as well. In-house made dough, real mozz, and the highest quality toppings in the pizza game. It's real deal and only $12.99. So get on over to hungryhowies.com. You can celebrate boldly when the Lions drop a bomb on Baker Mayfield with authentic Detroit-style pizza only at hungryhowies.com. David on the ticket text in an unsightly Pistons hat. What do you have for everybody?
It's a beautiful Pistons hat. I don't
No,
know what
it's
you're
not.
talking about. I picked C, but
Didn't realize Stephen Barry's was still open.
this is a great hat. I picked C. It's too risky. I choose A if we get a right-handed bat that's above average and to prospects. Would never pay him, though.
Okay, so another person out on paying him. I'm just trying to track it. And I'm being
And see,
intentional.
I think a lot of people are out on paying him, Mike, because I still, if you ask this question in a couple of months, I think you'll get more people saying, you know what, let's go ahead and pay him. But I think a lot of Detroiters kind of feel like I do, where you're like, wait, we really needed to see you out there at least one more inning. Can you give us the seventh inning in a game where I think that if he pitches the seventh inning, the Tigers are playing right now. They're going to be the ones going up against Toronto.
I really think
we'd have
if-
a home game tonight.
I really think
tomorrow.
if they would have used Charlie Morton in the game,
now that
Chris
No,
Paddock
no.
would have made the difference.
no, you know who would have made the difference? It was
Paul
Alex,
Sewald,
Alex Cobb.
Montero.
Cobb would have made. Cobb would have.
Anything you say is an immediate. No, I hear you loud and clear.
And here's a preemptive.
Right. For whoever else Scott Harris did or didn't get. No, I just think there is really not a groundswell of paying him right now. Not that we're hearing. It doesn't mean those people don't exist, but you're not hearing it so far. Let's go to Nick, see what he's got to say. 97.1. Nick, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, fellas, how you doing today?
Good, Nick. What's going on?
All right, so I'm kind of in option C camp as well, and here's my reasoning. So, number one, he is close to 30, so the 10-year contract or offering him $500,000 just seems kind of crazy, given the fact he is the type of pitcher, he's kind of a pure power pitcher. He has some nasty stuff, but he does not remind me of like a Justin Verlander who reinvented himself several times throughout his career. And he also makes fundamental errors in the field. In my opinion, he cost us that game 5 when he didn't check the runner back. He basically did not even look. And if you look at the final score, that was a big run that ended up crossing the plate. And he did that a few times throughout the year. Great arm, but I just don't think longevity is in the Tigers' favor in re-signing him. And if you trade him, you're not going to get back, since this is the last year.
But
you're not going to get.
Let me offer something.
Yeah,
I want to
ahead.
have some fun. No, Nick. And again, I don't imagine anyone yelling and screaming today, because I think everyone's got a point. Nick, view it like this. If I told you for 2027, you've got under $30 million committed to your payroll, under $30 million. And you know all these prospects that everyone hypes up, right? Nick, the money in essence becomes meaningless. Then I thought about this, and I'm not putting a heavy sales pitch on you. I just want you to think about it for a second. Look at the team's record in starts by Skubal versus everybody else. If you take Skubal out of here, they're basically a 500 team the last 2 years.
You're correct, but they also didn't win anything with him, and he
Fair.
only plays once every 5 days.
Okay.
So if you add a couple more solid bats, then boom. He probably would have won more games with a couple extra bats in the lineup, and that goes for every other pitcher in the rotation as well.
No, Nick, you know what's really interesting, though, is for a team who has this greatest farm system, they have no pitching. They have no pitching.
Yeah, and to your other
Great
point,
point.
they're in a dog crap division. That's
Yes.
the other thing, too.
Very fair. Yeah, and Nick, it's the fun part of it is you can look at both sides of the coin, and it's look, it's a brutal spot, but we knew we would end up here when they didn't do it 2 years ago. So here we are. So we're doing the one show, and the only time I want to hear this guy's name is if there's news other than this today. That's all I've asked from you guys. Please. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Dawson, 97.1. Dawson, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, Dawson. What's up?
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yes, sir.
So, as much as it would suck for the whole city, I think that trading Skubal is legitimately in the best interest of this team. The guy's getting up there towards 30, and we've seen it time and time again where these pitchers near that age bracket will just fall off a cliff. And I don't think that's going to happen with Skubal. He's obviously going to dominate and be great, but the haul you can get in return for him appetizes me. And I know this team also would be looking at all those prospects too. And I think that committing that much money to him, $40 to $50 million, whatever it may be, I can't convince myself that we pay him and then we also open the checkbook and go get a bunch of other guys that support him. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. Well, and that's Dawson. That's the thing. It's a crossroads for the organization. Now, you could keep him, but see, you know what's interesting, Dawson? Scott Harris is the very guy who kind of scoffed at the idea of windows being real. So, but if you keep him and you get aggressive, it's an admission the window's real. Like, if you lose him, what is this franchise? You will have lost the best pitcher you're realistically going to get your hands on in at least a decade. And you will have taken a huge step backward. I mean, Jackson Jobe, everybody wants to think he's going to be amazing. Well, first of all, he's dead. So we're not going to see him till 2027.
Not dead. But
and then
yes.
in 2027, it'll be the year after Tommy John. He won't have the control. He'll have the velocity.
Yes.
Now that puts you to 2028. So what do you have outside of that? Now, if you want to say Melton's going to throw 200 innings next year, I'd like to sell you the Gordie Howe Bridge. So what?
It's almost done.
Sure it is. What else? Dawson, you see where I'm going with this, though?
Yeah, I agree. And it also sucks because, right now is the absolute max value you will ever get in return for him. And I think if you are going to trade him or you have any thought in your mind that that's ever a possibility, you have to do it right now.
Yes, because if you get into the season, you can't trade him. You can't. Right. You'll get nothing.
Right. So I think right now is the best opportunity for this team to just pull the trigger, bite the bullet, and do it, and see what you can get in return. And that scares me because obviously that's something that will, determine Scott Harris's legacy in Detroit is that trade. And if it's a bad trade, bad return for us, then that's going to be one of the biggest failures in the franchise's history.
Sure. But it's a type of decision.
We just gotta hope that it's good.
Type of decision, type of move. You're kind of putting your ass in the jackpot. No question, Dawson. But if you do it wrong the other way and he walks for nothing, how did you end up in a better place if you didn't win the World Series?
Well, that's why I'm going, tell me that the window is closing, but you know what? We're going to do like cramming for that test. Let's go get every player that we can. And Detroit, we're in a bad division, so we'll probably win it. And we'll see what happens in the playoffs because, baseball.
Yeah, except what happens in the playoffs to cute little Moneyball teams is exactly what happened to you in Milwaukee.
Okay, but hopefully you'll go out there and you'll get some real players. Like, let's just say you get a real legitimate number 2 arm so that you got a nice little 1-2 combo with Skubal next year.
But who? Because remember, now, hold on. If you take the money that you were, now not all of it, but let's say you took 20, it's going to be $25 million to get a number 2 on the open market. Is that fair? Anyone want to object?
No, that's good.
If you take the $25 million and go get another pitcher, and you're stuck with Flaherty for 21, and you're going to let this guy leave, that doesn't add up to me.
Unless that number 2 could just get bumped over to number 1. Like, you're going to be our new future. Find somebody who's young enough that you're going to be our next guy.
I'd have to pull up who the free agent arms are, what it looks like. But I hear what you're saying, but it's this idea of if I have the guy, just keep the guy.
But it seems like this team is in love with youth. So that's what I'm saying. If you could find that young guy who could be 2 so that when he walks, okay, you move over, you're going to be our new ace. We're going to hype you up. We're going to put you on the tickets and in the programs and all of that. And then in that magical year of 2029.
No, come on, man. Let's be fair. It's got to be
2028. Jesus. That's being fair.
Oh, my Lanta. David, Ticket Text, talk to me.
First one I've seen that says pay him. Extend your window, the top of the rotation from 1 year to 4 to 6 years with him. That is from Dan.
And again, whether it's 7 years, 8 years, 10 years with an opt-out after 5, I don't know what it's going to look like. It's going to be Scott Boras. They want to go to free agency. You're not going to get it done early. So I think you got a real problem on your hands. Meaning, you trade him, or maybe it's choice C. The signing him, you're going to have to beat market pricing, which means you're negotiating against yourself right now. Mm-hmm. That's a tough place to be. But if he hits the market, he ain't coming back. Someone dumb, like my team, or the Mets, or whomever, they'll spend the money and it's game over.
I think we both know the Mets.
Yeah, especially if Steve Cohen gets that casino bid right next to his stadium. Yeah, I've heard those make money. Sorry.
I'm with Rico. All in, boys. Option 3. Let's go.
Yeah, so all in, you take the money that you were going to pay him with, you get a pitcher who will be on the season tickets next year when he leaves, and you get a bat. Basically 2 for 1. You go all in, get a right-handed bat, you get a pitcher who's his buddy as his number 2. You slot Mize and Olsen back in the rotation. You have Jack Flaherty basically, I don't know. Somebody drive Jack around in a golf cart. We'll figure it out. But that's okay. 248-539-9797. We'll get more of the people coming up. This is our one-day Scooble event because I don't want to hear it again until there's news.
Great question.
It's a ball breaker. It really is.
It really is.
But you got to talk about it and gauge the opinions. And again, if people are like, well, what's your opinion? Funny, man. Unless they're willing to do a franchise record-setting deal, which they've shown no willingness to do.
Why don't you give us your opinion a little bit later?
Oh, okay. Hey, every Thursday, your chance with FanDuel. Hit the jackpot. FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot. You win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Here's what you got to do. It's kind of a Jim Costa special. You got to guess who's going to score the first or last TD of a game. Now, if you win, you're thrown into the bonus pool for your share of $2 million. It's FanDuel.com/ticket. That's FanDuel.com/ticket. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and up, present in Michigan. Opt-in is required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Spin the wheel of football. We'll get back to business in a second. This is either David's segment that upsets me or football today. I'm not sure which. Music. Yep, it's the one that upsets me. Here we go.
Let's get to it, guys. I love doing this every week. It is my best bets for this week, and I have a lot of college games on this one. I actually just took one off because I just saw some news here. I think that I have to take the game off. I can't bet it anymore.
Because you're a coward.
Nope. The game I took off my board was number 4 Ole Miss at number 10 Georgia.
Georgia.
Well, yes, I would lean that way now.
Ole Miss doesn't stop the run. They're not as good away from home, and this is big boy school.
I was leaning that way anyway. I was going to go the over, but I've changed now because there's a report here that Simmons is off the injury report. I can't trust Simmons anymore, so I'm just staying away from the game. I don't know what to do with the game
You
now.
take Georgia.
I don't
It's
know.
Lane Kiffin in a big spot. You know what to do. All right, just move along.
If they can check the ball down, it's going to be just running a straight line and you beat Georgia's defense. No, absolutely not.
What?
Are we still doing the Lane Kiffin can't win a?
He's not going to win a big game like this.
Okay.
Come on, it's
I
Georgia.
thought he shred.
It's between the hedges. He ain't winning down there. If this were at Vaught Hemingway, maybe I'd have a different opinion. Georgia lives for this.
Maybe his daughter's dating a Georgia player now.
I'm not going there. Okay, David, continue.
I'll go to this game now. I'll go to the ACC. And it is number 12, Georgia Tech going to Duke.
Say it.
Duke is favored by 1.5.
Unranked favorite
So I
over ranked.
have to go with QB Darian Mensah
Yes.
and Duke.
Off a bye week. Georgia Tech escaped last week. Duke is somehow, under Manny Diaz, a better offensive team than a defensive team. Duke is favorite? Duke. It ends for Georgia Tech this
Is somebody
week.
injured on Georgia Tech?
Yeah,
Or-
Haynes King. He fell out of his mom's womb injured. Haynes King is hurt every game. He got hurt at birth, too. He broke his leg.
He's their version of Alante Brown.
And they run him to death. You'll see Haynes King with 23 carries and 6 visits to the blue tent. Duke.
I really thought you were going to say something real. He fell out of his bed or he fell out something.
He's constantly injured. The kid's tough
But
as
is it
nails.
the Kirby Joseph blue tent where you come back?
Whatever was in that tent, Kirby went in on a wheelchair. He came out dancing.
Let's go over to the Big Ten here. And you all are probably going to laugh at this one.
What? Let me hear it.
Penn State at Iowa.
No.
And I am going +3 Penn State.
You're out of your
No.
mind.
Because
You're insane.
New
Iowa
coach come-
can't stop the run.
It's
and
Kinnick.
all Penn State's going to do is run the ball.
Backup quarterback, new coach, a team that's quit, kids
Okay.
probably portaling.
David, had you told me the new interim coach bounce, maybe,
That's nothing to do with the coach.
but it's
Who's coaching
it's-
him? Morris Watts?
No, it's at Iowa, right?
Oh, it's not Harlan Barnett and his
It's
battery
at-
operated headset?
It's at Iowa, right?
It's
Yeah.
at Iowa.
No, you don't have a quarterback, and
They don't need one. They can run the ball.
David, Iowa can only do one thing, and they can play defense. They can't score,
They can't stop the run, though.
but
They just allowed a
Hey,
season
Kenny,
high in
okay,
rushing
Kenny,
yards.
this defines pillow fight. Penn State, Iowa.
you know what?
Oh, man. Feathers
Dude,
everywhere.
the Big Ten's so sick.
We've lost Kenny.
I
David,
even got cookies because on the podcast, he's like, oh, look, another ranked SEC matchup. We go, yeah, where are all the Big Ten ones?
David, put it like this: if I'm Iowa, there's 9 in the box.
but can Iowa score?
Okay, guys, no one cares. I don't even think the poor sick kids care anymore.
Why are we
Just
spending
leave it
so much
alone.
time on this
yeah,
game?
just please pick another game.
I'll go
Those
over.
poor kids deserve better.
I'll go
Penn
over.
State, Iowa, draw the blinds. Watch, you know what? Someone turn on Disney for the kids. Shouldn't have to watch this crap.
Could have been watching Nemo. Instead, I'm watching this.
Anything. Put Moana on rerun.
Let's go over. Well, we show Moana. Let's go
Well, I don't
over.
know, Mr. BET. You tell me.
I'm just waiting for him to get a Cam Newton hat.
Let's go over to the SEC now, guys.
Yes, a real conference.
Missouri going to Auburn. Missouri, of course, is coming off their first loss. I'm going Missouri. -1.5. They are going to stomp Auburn in
Yeah,
this
but
game.
that's the problem. Auburn doesn't get stomped.
I was about to say, yeah.
Their defense is tough as nails. Missouri with an emotional letdown. You go on the road. This is as back against the wall as it gets for Auburn. It's a complete stay away for me.
See, I would have done the opposite. And Kenny, can we have this conversation? This is non-pillow fight.
We may. Yes, we may.
Okay, I would take Auburn in this game.
I think we need Hugh Freeze in the hospital bed coaching again, like when he was at Liberty. That's the version of Hugh Freeze we need. Escorts in the cell phone, hospital bed in the press box. We got to change the mojo down at Auburn.
Let's stay in the SEC, and this one's not going to be a pretty game.
Let's hear it.
This is Oklahoma at South Carolina.
Yeah.
The over-under is 43.5, and I'm going with the under because combined, both teams sit at the bottom 30 in explosive plays. Oklahoma only scored 6 points last week. South Carolina only scored 10 points last week. It's going to be bad.
But, David, and it's normally games like this where you're like the first 1 to 10
wins,
and it's going to end up being like 49 to 48.
And that's been South Carolina all year. I mean, I watched VTech South Carolina, and 10 years went off my life. I mean, yeah, I can't argue with this, David. It's a depressing move.
It is very depressing.
It's a race to 20, no question.
So, SEC version of Iowa football. Gotcha.
It's bad.
Okay.
Let's move over to the NFL, and let's give you one for tonight. The Steelers at Cincinnati. Yes, it is 5.5 for the Steelers, but I'm going to go the over. The over 43.5 in this game. Here's why. Joe Flacco, all he does is just throw the ball vertically, and that's all they need in Cincinnati. They're going to score a few points, and the Steelers will keep up. It could be 24-21, 26-20, not a lot, but that will be over. So I'm going the over 43.5.
I refuse to comment on this game. Rico Beard.
You're not excited about that Steelers Bengals tonight?
No.
The only thing, next, are we going to break down the Dolphins Browns?
I like the Browns in that game. Dolphins don't rush the passer. They don't stop the run.
I do too.
Dylan Gabriel have time to throw.
Stadium implosion. How about that?
Browns, and they get old capri pants fired. You can't be a serious head coach wearing capri pants.
Who it comes out.
Science.
Will you guys please show up to the meetings?
Yeah, and then Tua had to apologize for that one. Real good scene in Miami.
Oh, it's lovely down there, right?
He gets to the podium. Hey, guys, seriously, we got a players-only meeting, and if the media wants to come, if you guys don't, so please show up. Please.
Man, I got
question mark?
And then let's close it out with this one here. The Commanders are visiting the Dallas Cowboys.
Uh-oh.
Yes, the
Over.
Cowboys at +1.5. It could be over. Know why? Because Dallas has scored 40 points in each of their games at home.
The problem for Dallas is they're 0 for the season if they don't score at least 37.
That's true. You're exactly right.
That's not sustainable.
No, take the over. Yes, when Dallas plays
At home, they
automatic
just score.
over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
What is the
sure.
over under?
54.5.
Yes.
Yeah. Over.
CeeDee Lamb may play. I don't know. We'll
Doesn't
see.
matter.
He's been practicing.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. Don Meredith could be playing.
Over. Michael Irvin. Over.
Sure.
Emmitt Smith over. Oh man,
Deuce.
those
Troy Aikman
are your best bets.
Brought to you by CNL Ward. Lions left tackle Taylor Decker was back at practice today for the first time in nearly a month. Safety Kirby Joseph and corner Tyrion Arnold were missing. The team has plucked safety Jamie Robinson off the Kansas City practice squad, placing him on the active roster. Dan Campbell spoke today on the impact that Ali McNeil will have on the entire team. The Red Wings beat the Panthers 4-1 without Lucas Raymond last night, who's suffering from an upper body injury. He was back at practice today, but is still considered day-to-day. The Pistons wrap up the preseason slate against the Wizards tonight. Hear that 6:35 pregame with yours truly right here on the ticket. The NLCS chugs along tonight with the Dodgers up 2-0 against the Brewers. First pitch at 6:08 there. Aaron Ashby faces Tyler Glasnow on the mound. The ALCS remains in Seattle at 8:33 as the Mariners hold a 2-1 lead. Former Tiger Max Scherzer set to make his 500th career start facing Luis Castillo. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
All right, we're going to get back to the phones. I just want to welcome the people in the 3 o'clock audience, and I've offered a question. I don't think anyone is wrong. I think all three of these are justifiable, but we're doing this one day only event, the Tarek Skubal Day. What do you want the Tigers to do with him? This isn't a predictive measure. It's what you want as a paying customer. A, you sign him. I mean, you're outside the top 20 in payroll commitments for next year, and you've only got about $27 million of total payroll for 2027. You have the best pitcher in baseball. He's here now. You pay him. You're going to have to overpay to do it? Yeah. Is Scott Boras pain in the ass? Yeah. I may as well get that Dan Campbell drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you pay him. And you know it'll be a bad deal at some point, but it gives you your best chance to win. And you send a message to your fans that, look, we're real. And while we're never going to have the payroll of the Yankees or Dodgers, we're not letting the best pitcher leave our midst to do what exactly? Okay, that's A. B, you trade him. You're not going to pay him. Boras is absolutely hurdling him to free agency. And you're not going to get caught with your pants down and get nothing for him. So you're going to trade him. And the deal will have to feature a major league level piece or two and some prospects. And I'm not telling you that's the most appealing option or a sexy option, but losing him for nothing ain't a good one either. And then there's choice C, which is a hybrid. You're not signing him and you're not trading him. You're going to use him, but you're going to go all in around him. To Rico's point. Big-time right-handed bat, and a legit number 2 pitcher. You essentially take the money you would have had to have paid him, and you put players that will be here in the future around him for one final hurrah with him. There are your 3 options, because if you keep him and do nothing, that's insanity. I wouldn't even offer that to you, and nobody would choose it. 248-539-9797. Rico's choice C. David is choice C.
And remember, it's what you want, right. Not what you think Scott Harris is going to do.
Yeah, I'm A or B.
But what do you want?
I'm A or B. And for me, you're trading him or you're keeping him. And I have a hard time believing this team will pay the freight. So it means you're trading him.
And I'm thinking, yeah, it's not going to be keeping him and signing him, because I think if it was that easy, it would have been done already. So just go all in, one last ride, last dance, whatever you want to call it, and let's see how far you can go next season.
David, the ticket text, what are the early returns here?
The Detroit Tigers shouldn't pay top dollar for 6 innings. Then you have to sign 2 others to finish his games because he can't pace himself.
Okay.
So I'm trading him.
Let me stop for 1 second. David, I'm sorry to ask for ticket text and then stop you, but let's add this to the hopper, because we have to ask this. How much did him coming out of that game on 99 pitches affect your opinion of Tarek Skubal?
I think
right, wrong, or otherwise, because, man, it feels like
no.
It soured the milk.
If we ask this question in December during the winter meetings or whenever they hold them, it's going to be a different answer. But right now, there's a lot of Detroiters who are still upset because you had a legitimate shot at you were winning the game, and he came out of the game, and we don't know. It's a mutual decision.
Now, you know my theory. We're allowed theories.
Right, we are allowed
It's not
theories.
accusatory.
Right.
It's a theory. My theory is Boris and this organization clearly have a mutual understanding of what you're gonna and not gonna be able to ask my guy to do.
Because
That's how it feels like, seems like, sounds like to me. I can't prove it. It's a theory.
it just felt like if you go out one more inning, you seal this game, you then can just hand it off to the bullpen.
Right.
And it was game over. He comes out. Seattle scores the run.
When AJ said it, he goes, look, and I'm with you, 99, 99, 101. Those are your last three pitches. It's hard for me. And no, I'm not doing the Jack Morris. When he was headed to free agency, he pitched a 10-inning complete game. Different time. But I'm with Rico in this regard. I needed to see Skubal go out there and throw 112 pitches and give me that seventh inning. Give me one more.
Right, I needed him to say, yep, this is game 5. This isn't game number 5 of the season. This is game 5. We get this. We move on. We play the Blue Jays. We can save the wear and tear on the arms from the bullpen. I'm going to give you one more inning. And if I struggle, take me out of the game. But other than that, you already knew. It should almost be the point where AJ just looks at him and he looks back and they just know, you ain't taking me out this game. There's no way I'm coming out.
That seems like it really affected people's view of him.
It did.
Right,
Mike.
wrong, or otherwise. It's just about, did it affect the view?
Because I think everybody was like me, where you were sitting there in the 7th inning when they scored, like, man, I bet you Scuba would have just got these guys out, especially the guy who got the hit on his first career at bat in the playoffs. It's like, really? Okay, this is what's going to happen.
Let's go to Mike and Troy, 97.1. Mikey, how you doing, bud?
Hey, guys, before I don't want to get too geeky, but they're not trading George Lombard Jr. He's going to be the face of the franchise in a couple of years, Mike. But I'm with Rico, but I got another one, and mine's D. They're not going to trade him. They're going to say we're going to get resold, so they're going to pick up a couple bats, and then he's going to walk like Max Scherzer. I'm still like Rico. I'm still pissed. He should have went into the 7th inning. He put himself out. If he really cared, he would have went into that 7th inning and pitched. If someone goes on, pull me out. But he said he was done, and I stayed up to 1:30 in the morning. Had to go to my office at 4 a.m. on Saturday. I'm still pissed, Mike.
Yeah, I
don't think you're the only
You're not
one,
the only
Mike.
one, brother. Mike, no. So what you've described is option C. They're not going to pay him. They're not going to trade him, and they'll make a few moves to try to win with him one more time.
Really, it's D. They're going to sign a couple garbage bats.
Oh.
We got resources we're going to pick up. No.
Oh,
forget
if
about D.
they do that, my head will explode. If this organization allows him to walk for nothing, and they don't have a level of commitment to winning, where again, like Mike is putting it out there, like they're going to sign Andrew McCutchen or something. Oh no, my head would explode. You can't do that. You can't. If you don't sign him and you don't trade him, then you build around him with players that will be here for the next few years, even when he's not. You can't go do the hey, I'm going to bring in a Matt Vierling doppelganger. What? Sorry.
No.
Let's go to Dre, 97.1. Dre, what's going on?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Dre.
Hey, Dre.
Good to have you back. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a difference between an ideal world, what I want, compared to what I need to happen because I've accepted for what this GM's going to do. He is not going to fast track this developmental plan he has for these prospects. He doesn't want a block position. He doesn't want to commit to anybody long term that can hinder that. He said that many times. He glazed about the prospects once again in the press conference. And one thing I'm getting tired of is this meddling point where in the present time, the big league club is contending, in quotations, but the GM is not allowing that to sway his strategy. And that's really frustrating to me. And so I just want him to pick a direction and stick to it, no matter how much I don't like it. I mean, ideally speaking, I feel like we should go for it. We have one of the better pitchers of baseball. You're better off with him than without him. And you should try to go, ideally, choice C, build around him because they're not going to pay him. But that's not going to happen. Sky Harris is not going to do that. And the last thing I want to do is have another year and we're meddling because our division is bad. And we're in the same position. We're around first place, battling with Cleveland. Looks like we're going to make the playoffs again. And McGonigal and Clark or whoever we bring so far in the mix, they're playing, but they're rookies. So my expectations are low. And he doesn't want to make a big acquisition at the deadline or just current winter meetings because he doesn't want to block them. I'm tired of that. You know what, the heck with it, man. If you just don't care about what's going on the big league level because you've got that 30,000-foot view and you don't want to fast track this thing, then let's just really go at your pace. Trade them. I'm not going to say that's not a reset necessarily, but trade them. Get some hopefully major league ready guys now, not some kids.
But I think this, Dre, if you trade him, and again, I'm not coming at you. I think your opinion is sadly accurate. But Dre, if you trade him, you are telling everyone you're a small market team. There's in Major League Baseball and in sports, there's the hammer and the nail. If you trade Derek Skubal, you're telling people you ain't the hammer.
Are you really though, Mike?
Yes, you are.
Because I'm thinking
you're the best pitcher in the sport, and you opted to simply say we're not going to try.
But if the best pitcher in the sport, and if we find out that this guy wanted a 10-year deal, he's 30. Are you really saying that you're small market, that I don't want a 10-year investment in a 30-year-old pitcher?
Yes. Because the Mets, the Yankees, the Pods, the Dodgers, and anybody else who's going to throw money at him are going to disagree with that stance. Yeah. Look, I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to carry a payroll like them, but Rico, what's the point of all these prospects that everyone's denim is tight over if you're not going to supplement them with expensive players? The salary offset, like when you bring McGonigal up,
right?
He's not going to make any money for 5 years.
I get it. But if Skubal was sitting there at 25, 26, I would agree with you. But I'm like, okay, you know what? This is one where, let's face it, let's say he's got at least 4 more good years left in him. You're going to be paying him 6 years for what he's done for the last.
Yeah, that's the folly of baseball.
I understand.
I'm with you. That's why I've said to you, see where you keep him for the year, but you go BOGO bucks and you make a big trade. And okay, cool. Or you sign him and pay him. The trading him, optically, I don't know how the organization will work their way around it.
No, I think if you were going to trade him, I think it was last year. And yeah, you wouldn't have had the fun in the playoffs and all of that. But
yes, it's been such a blast.
You would have had some actually guys who are everyday players right now, not guys you've been waiting on the farm. You could have probably fleeced the Orioles.
Only in this town are we going to when's the parade for the ALDS appearance? Like only in this town. Hey, meet me at the Kearns Clock. We're having an ALDS jamboree. I mean, it's only in this town.
And then we'll light the Christmas tree.
Right. David's going to sing a Yuletide hymn. All right, David Femininio, you call him if you're in an accident. But what if he didn't have to make the call in the first place? That's why David started his Driving Edge. It's about keeping you safe and preventing the crash. GetDavidGetPaid.com/Driving Edge. And because accidents do happen invariably when they do, David's going to be there. The real win, staying safe. Go to GetDavidGetPaid.com. That's GetDavidGetPaid.com. Okay, this time it's for real. David, ticket text, and then I'm going to the phones. We will get a football today in the mix as well. And we've got some college football, both Michigan and Michigan State. I thought John Jansen said something confusing yet interesting this morning. And we want to talk to Michigan fans a little bit. I know all the smoke rightfully is headed towards Jonathan Smith. I want to gauge your belief in Sharon Moore. We'll do all of it later. David, go ahead, buddy.
I choose option C because you still have a chance to sign Skubal after.
Yeah, no, you don't.
You don't.
You
sure don't.
You are kidding yourself. That thinking you're going to sign Skubal after he goes to free agency, that is the height of, dude, she's just not that into you. You've been friend zoned at that point.
Yep.
Mike, you're spot on. Tarek being a draw for fans and a favorite here. My son and I head down to see games when he's starting because he's a master. So because of that, I would pay him.
Okay. And again, no one is arguing that long-term franchise-setting deals are, quote, value. They never are. I don't care who the player is. The point I'm making is you don't have any payroll liability. Javi Baez is $24 million. Jack Flaherty's $20. $44 million drops off the books after next year. I mean, do you realize your entire payroll for 2027 as we sit here today is essentially Javi Baez's salary? It's $27 million. Beyond it, forget it.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're the Yankees who are already sitting at 180 before they do anything. So I don't think if you want to pay him, I don't think it makes you a bad person. No one's going to sell you it's a value, or there won't come a point where you go, oh my God, this is a bad deal. But you have to ask yourself, are we in this to win a World Series or not? And if I don't have Tarek Skubal, how am I winning a World Series? Yes, you have to ask that question.
I've seen Verlander get traded for nothing. Miggy's contract be Miggy's contract, and Scherzer walk. So out of those options, I would rather sign him, but all of them give me PTSD.
Yeah, this is why it's a really tough spot. But I don't think you can't watch him walk for nothing unless you're putting major money into this team this year and beyond. I guess what I'm trying to say to you is if you choose option C, it's incumbent upon the organization to make an announcement. No, we're all in now. And even if Skubal's gone, we're going to put a high caliber, even higher payroll product out there moving forward. That, hey, we would have loved to have had Tarek. His agent wanted him in free agency, but look at what else we got you. Hey, right. The Yankees wanted Juan Soto. He walked. They didn't sit there. They signed Max Fried and Bellinger, traded for Devin Williams, and then added even more money at the deadline by trading for every bullpen arm in baseball, seemingly. Now, if the organization does that, while we'd be sad knowing Skubal's leaving, you could make sense of it and respect the team at the same time. That's why I don't think David and Rico are nuts for picking choice C. Let's go to Jack, 97.1. Jack, what's going on, pal?
Hey, guys, I would trade him, and I think they actually are going to trade him. I'm not going to pay somebody that can't go 7 innings, and I do have a trade proposal for you guys, and I think it's actually really realistic.
All right.
You trade Skubal to the Red Sox for Robin Anthony.
Nope.
And there's
Jack, they'll never do it. You're never getting your hands on Roman Anthony. I love where your head's at, but I'm playing the role of the Sox now. Yeah. So I'd hang up the phone. It's not happening. He's a major league. He's the number 1 overall prospect, and he was in the major leagues and tore it up before getting hurt. At best, you'd get Skubal for Roman Anthony, and that's not happening.
Yeah, if it had to be done, I would throw in Riley Green to get Anthony because I think he's just a 5-tool star, man.
He's a superstar.
I can't watch Riley Green strike out 200 times anymore, man. I just can't do it.
Well, how about that? Jack, while we have you in the trade mindset, may I offer you something?
Yeah.
I have said to Rico off air, I think I slipped and said it on air once. And I said this offseason, they need to make a decision as an organization of Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green. Only one of them gets to stay. Because they are, in essence, the same player. Mm-hmm. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Okay.
Kerry Carpenter.
Okay. Hey, no problem with it. Yeah, I just.
And play him every day. Stop sitting him against lefties. I think A.J. Hinch overmanages too much. I just can't stand it sometimes.
Well, Jack, that's when you get in the Moneyball thing. That's when you let a laptop start running your team. And I like analytics, and I think there's a place for it to a point. Right. But like with football, let me give you the perfect football equivalent of analytics going too far. I'm down by 14 points. I score a touchdown, and instead of cutting it to 7, I'm out here going for 2 because hypothetically, if I score again, I could win the game. Yeah, well, hypothetically, if I don't get the 2-point conversion, now I got to get a 2-point conversion to save my ass.
Right. Or
what?
You scored the 7, and if you're really feeling that ballsy, then go ahead and go for 2 with the second touchdown.
Here's another analytics. Rams are up 17-3 in Baltimore. They got the football on the 6-yard line. It's the fourth quarter with 13 minutes to go, and you're facing not Cooper Rush. They benched him. Who cares? They were facing Burton Ernie, a quarterback.
Was it Huntley?
They pass up the field goal to go up 3 scores to go for it. They don't get it. What are you doing? Analytics gone too far, and I think it's gone too far in baseball too.
I was about to say, or 4th and 1, and you do a you run a pitch play.
You know what? I'm not even commenting. Go to Ethan.
Analytics.
Ethan, 97.1.
Hi, guys. How are you doing today?
Good, Ethan.
Good. I'm going to choose option B and trade them, and now hear me out. I heard some of your discussions on previous lines. Sky Harris and Pizza Boy over here, they want to act like we're a small market team when we're not. I can't tell you how many years it's been where it's just 1-year prove-it deals or waiver wire claims. I mean, we couldn't even give Skubal a competitive offer last year after winning the Cy. We could have gone for maybe what Max Fried got with the Yankees. I think it's 8 years at $250. Now we just let him play himself out of our willing pockets. And if they're not able to give him a competitive offer back then, how can we trust Harris & Co. to field a competitive team and go all in next year if we don't bring back Skubal? Because if we're going to do a whole playoff push all the way, we need a whole lineup reconstruction. We can't win it all when 80% of our bats are platoon bats, and we can only trust Kerry Carpenter in the clutch. I mean, Riley Green, whenever he comes up in the clutch, is always a strikeout or a pop-up. I mean, Seattle 1-6 every time they came up. We held them in Game 5, but my cheeks were clenched every time they came up, worrying about what's going to happen. We don't have that on our team. Who do we got? I mean, even if they don't do anything, at least they put the pressure on the pitching to make their pitches. Whereas for us, they can just blow right through us. So that's just kind of what my thoughts are. I'm still not over Game 5, still not over the season. I mean, we need actual talent instead of 1-year deals.
Yeah, no, and Ethan, I think you have every right. You know, the whole, these 2 ball players, if I add their numbers together, okay, great. I saw the movie with Jonah Hill. Ethan, at a certain point, get me a ball player who's just a dog. And I'm putting him in the lineup for 600 at-bats, and I know he's going to hit in the 3-hole in the playoffs for me, and let's play. I'm with you. Now, they'll tell you, oh, those players are coming. They're going to be here in 2000, whatever. You can have both. The idea that you don't want to block prospects is laughable to me. Signed Anthony Volpe. I've seen this a million times. I waited years for The Martian. I was told he had Mickey Mantle's bat speed. Oh, wait, that was Clint Frazier, another ginger idiot. The whole point is that there is a graveyard of uber fantastic prospects who bomb.
Right.
So just get players, and when the other guy's ready, you figure it out. I'm not telling you to go out and do something stupid and pay Anthony Santander $1 zillion because he had this miracle Brady Anderson season. No. Doing things aggressively doesn't mean let's find the stupidest example. No. But get players. I'm with him. If I have to see another 1-year prove-it deal or we're signing somebody off the couch with a broken hip again, when are we just going to get real? Right. That's where I understand people's frustration and going, you know what? To hell with it. Trade the guy if this is how you're going to operate. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Because that's kind of the way it looks like it's going to end up being. And I think a lot of people are just still angry. And they're just kind of to the point where they're mad at Skubal. And they just don't want to say, I'm mad at Skubal, but they won't be sad if he gets traded. They'll be like, oh, okay, well, now it all makes sense.
248-539-9797. Get more of your phone calls. Checking on the ticket text as well. Our one-day Skubal event And then we ain't talking about this until there's something substantive.
Correct.
97.1.
All right, guys, guess what? Final inspection is next week. Basement is completed. Yes, Mike, and you can get your basement done as well, whether you have a complete, totally unfinished basement like I had, or you're adding a room. I'm living great thanks to Matrix Basements, because they came in, they gave me a free consultation, and boom, basement is done. They work around the clock. Now they can do the same for you as they did for me. They are offering a buy now, pay later. That's no interest and no payments for 24 months. Why wait to enjoy your dream space? That's it. I'm telling you, you want to give Matrix Basements a call. You go to their websites, matrixbasements.com. Matrix Basements can deliver your dream space and make the payments as easy as ever with buy now, pay later. That's 24 months with absolutely zero interest, zero payments. Plain and simple. Go to matrixbasements.com and let Matrix Basements make your basement dreams a reality.
Brought to you by the Michigan Lottery. Lions offensive tackle Taylor Decker was back at practice today. Safety Kirby Joseph was out. Bengals defensive lineman Trey Hendrickson is expected to miss tonight's game against the Steelers as well. Red Wings forward Lucas Raymond still remains day to day. He was back at practice today. The Lightning coming up tomorrow. Pistons basketball also back on the air tonight right here on The Ticket. Detroit will be at LCA for the first and last time before the regular season tips this weekend as they face the Wizards. Pregame at 6:35. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. More at 4 at 97.1theticket.com.
Straight to the people, our one-day only Scooble event. And we ain't talking about it no more until there are real reports. I've given you 3 options. What do you want the Tigers to do? We go to Rob Onisell. He's up next. Rob, what's going on, pal?
Hey, boys. I would choose choice A every day of the week. And the reason why I do that is, number one, look, he is a guy who's 12 months out from a $400 million contract. 12 months from now, he's going to throw 115 pitches in that situation. And he's going to do that the rest of his career because he's never going to think about money again, which changes him as an animal on the mound. I mean, if you think about it in those terms, think about the way that we let Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander go get World Series other places. You have to have the number one, the horse that everybody backs up behind, makes your team way, way stronger as a whole, gives all your 2, 3, 4, and 5 starters, they become better pitchers. It allows, and this team has so many cheap players. I mean, it is loaded with cheap players that aren't going to get paid for years. And so you can spend $80, $100 million on other players, and you'll still be, bottom 2/3 of the league.
No, you're not wrong. I don't think any of us love the contract we'd have to pay. I know I don't. I mean, I'd be fine if you didn't sign him if there was a plan. But, Rob, I'm never going to knock somebody who says, look, I got the guy. I think I can get, let's say it's an 8-year deal. 4 of them are going to be great, and then we're on the decline. I'm not mad at anybody who says sign him. Because, Rob, the team does have a little bit of a perception problem. And, I mean, highlighted by the fact you didn't sell out a playoff game here on a beautiful fall afternoon.
Correct.
Correct. But, if you think about it, look at the money they just threw away on Cobb and Maeda and Morton and, going down the line. I mean, it's $40 million you just pissed away this season on dead arms that didn't help you. And so when we worry about cash that way, we got a back-to-back Cy Young winner who's 30 years old, who's probably going to go to Cooperstown, I would guess, at his current pace. And you got a chance for the next 5-6 years to have him at the top of your rotation. And you got to wait for him to pitch without being worried about money. I mean,
that's the key.
You're going to get the best version of him.
Rob, that's why I did the multi-year, salary table. And it's not, you can't take it as gospel because baseball payrolls are a little bit more nuanced with arbitration factors and different things. But just in general, Rico, I have it right here, okay? So this is from Sport Track or whatever the hell it is. Tigers payroll commitments for 2026 currently sit at $62 million.
Okay.
Even if I factor in all the arbitrations, all the kibbles and bits, and I get you to 90. Next year's payroll, 2027, you have $28 million in commitments. I mean, look, Baez is off the books. Flaherty's off the books. There's $44 million right there. There's the Scooble money. Starting in 2027, it's essentially Scooble's free. Beyond that, you know what you have for 2028's payroll? $5 million of commitments. That's one at bat for Ohtani. So I totally understand the fan base going, no, I don't care if the deal's bad. We have the best pitcher in baseball. And even if by year 4 of the deal, he starts the decline that Clayton Kershaw went on, and Kershaw turns into more of a number 3 or a number 4.
So maybe there's an option D.
There is not. My head will explode.
You sign him, and then you also get him some new toys to play with.
Well, no, that would be the all-in serious franchise option. That's not on the table. No, you don't understand that.
All right, I'm just saying.
No, that's we're carrying a $200 million payroll. They're not doing that.
We're going to sign you, and we're going to go out and get that second starter, and we're going to go out and get another bat.
Right. So you've just described the Yankee approach.
Yes.
They're not doing that.
Okay.
And again, I want to be fair. Fair's my favorite F word.
It is not.
It is simple. I can't ask them to carry that level of payroll with the lockout looming, with a lousy TV deal. They do not own their own network, right? They don't have Dodger Vision or Yes. It's just different. I can't ask them to go broke in the process of owning a team.
See, and Mike, you just brought it up because I didn't want to touch on that. And I know I don't want to go back to they should have traded him after all that stuff.
Let's not do that.
No, but that limits how much you can get for him.
Correct.
Right? The teams may say, well, we may be locked out, so why would I give you all of this and I'm only going to have him for a year?
Correct. It's a mess. And I'm thankful we're just doing a one-day only sales event here because I'm not doing 10 of these shows.
Thursday only, Scooble Talk.
33% off Scooble Talk. This is it here. Tomorrow's a Football Friday, and Rico and Rieger got you covered. Monday's going to be a coronation. Lions are going to drop a bomb on the Bucs. And then the Scooble stuff is
sure about that?
I'm 100% sure.
I like it when you're confident.
100%. This is a bounce back spot. Dan Campbell's going to be holding the menu up to his face.
All right. Go for 2.
Yeah, and I think the Bucs are due for a hand grenade to get rolled in their bedroom.
You know what? Then I hope that Dan Campbell is controlled his locker room, that they're not still talking about the whole everything.
They're fine. They haven't lost back-to-back games since 2015
I get that.
Or whatever it is.
I get that, but just the whole with the aggrieved and with Brian Branch and
they've turned aggrievement into anger. Amon-Ra's angry at himself.
Okay, that's
Aiden's
fine.
angry at himself.
I want to hear that rather than the league screw. Because if that's the case, you can forget about it.
I handled the Lions' business for them.
Okay,
I carried the torch.
You did God's work.
That's right.
Okay.
In essence, I did.
Okay,
sort of,
kind of,
maybe.
Question mark,
David. Tickets.
Go all in. That's where I'm at. Option C. Okay. Out on Scooble trade him, get a haul, sign a pitcher, and that can actually go 7 innings and wins in the playoffs. Disgruntled enrichment, he says. I would pay him because he's the best pitcher on the planet, and that's just simple.
That's the beginning, middle, and end,
That's Gino from Colorado. Someone else, Mike in New Boston, says, no way I pay a pitcher that didn't demand to stay in.
Yep. I understand that. Listen,
Trade him.
I'm being a bit of Stoney today. I'm playing all sides.
Okay.
But I'm doing it for the good of the topic. For me, it's just different. I don't ever read on, man, if I had an idea what this organization, when they were going to start to act serious, I'd be able to give you a better answer. I really have no handle on this. But if their answer is wait for the kids, well, then trade them. I mean, what are we doing? There's no point to it. The only way you sign him is if you're going to compliment him with things. I created Choice C as the hybrid. That while they're not a wholly serious organization, they're also not the Pittsburgh Pirates. So keep them for this year. We're going to spend in a shorter term, 3 or 4 years, the money we would have given you. We'll surround you. It's insurance for when you leave. And we'll move forward and probably win this garbage division again. That's why I created C. Because A and B require a real window into their sincerity as a franchise in their pursuit of a World Series.
And D is off the books.
D is off the books.
Okay.
Because they've shown no signs of, we're going to pay Scooble, and we're going to buy this bat, and we're going to go get this guy, and we're going to take some of these prospects, weaponize them, and trade them, and then we're going to take them to the White House. Ah! No. They have not shown the Howard Dean approach.
Okay.
No. Thank you for that. All right, NFL Thursdays. Your chance with FanDuel to hit the jackpot, $2 million in bonus bets each week. What you need to do is guess who's going to hit the first or last TD of a game. If you get that right, you're in the bonus pool for your share of over $2 million. It's FanDuel.com/ticket. That's FanDuel.com/ticket. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and up, present Michigan. Opt-in is required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued. Non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we're going to jump back into the calls. We'll get a football today coming up, and then we'll turn our attention to some college football. But this Scooble stuff has been really good, and I can't say it enough. It's a great response. I don't think any opinion is the wrong one. It's a really difficult situation the Tigers are in. Part of it is their own fault, but part of it is, look, this is the way of the sport, and you do have to choose a pathway that when you get a player like this, do you hunker down and spend the money knowing the back end of that deal's bad? Or do you kind of just let go of the rope and admit you're not major market and you're going to do it a different way? You know, maybe I'm crazy. I don't view the Tigers and the Milwaukee Brewers as the same thing. I think the Tigers are superior in every way, including market size. And we don't have haunted hotels. Heard that 7 times on Heather with the News this morning. The point is,
Really? No, I'm kidding.
no, my point is they traded Corbin Burns.
No, I mean the haunted hotels.
Oh, yeah. It's just, I feel like the Tigers are in a middle ground where they're not small market and they shouldn't behave that way, but they're certainly not at the top end. And it's part of the problem with the sport and why there's going to be a labor war.
I you know what? It's funny because it kind of reminds me of our conversation yesterday. We talked about MSU for the Tigers. Do you want to be a World Series champion or not?
You're nailing it. You got to make a decision. And that's why things like this fascinate me, because if you just trade him, you're kind of admitting, or you're just saying, I don't want to pay a guy with 2 catastrophic injuries who doesn't go 7 innings
for the next 10 years, which I can't be upset about, because if he's asking for that max deal, then we don't know. Now, if you tell me it's a 5-year deal, okay.
Reality is it's probably in the 8 range with an opt-out somewhere in case you bottom out. The bottom line is it'll be all his leverage, all his control, and he'll get a Zach Wheeler-esque 42.5 minimum. You got to be comfortable with that. If you're not, it's going to say something to your fans, whether it's intentional or otherwise.
And see, I don't think you are comfortable with that, because if it is, then if you're going to pay him that, it just feels like to me, you're going to go and get other people and surround him with that, and not just pay one person and then have a bunch of air quote kids up here around him.
That's the whole thing is,
because if I'm Scooble, I don't want that. Like,
no, I know. And that's the reality. And none of us know for certainty. But you can look, I gave 11 examples. I remember, God, this was like last summer. Boris is willing to get guys signed 2 years out from free agency. I gave major examples of it. Primarily, though, he wants to go to free agency unless you pay the freight. I'm not sitting here screaming and yelling one way or the other, but I want to know what the Tigers are. What are they going to be like? What are they going to act like as a franchise? And again, whether they pay him or they don't, it's going to say something, and I think it's going to say it with force. Mm-hmm. And some people already have their minds up. The guy's giving you 2 Cy Young caliber years, and they're pissed at this guy to the point they don't want to pay him because what? He didn't go back out there in the ALDS?
Yeah.
That's a tough look. I'm not there. I can say I didn't love the fact that he wasn't back out there, but that's not going to impact my decision.
No, but
I don't think.
It's a tough look, because when you think about this city, we're all about the grit and the toughness and all of that.
Enough.
And he didn't display that.
Yeah, I'm with Kenny on that. If I got to hear
we're
any
not, though, because we're whining about everything. So if you're really about the grit and the toughness, then stop whining about not getting a flag for Patrick Mahomes.
Wait, so you're saying, whining? What, like fake gangsters? What? David just called Detroit a bunch of wanksters.
And also, a point of correction, thanks to the ticket texter.
Oh, my.
A wankster.
What just happened?
A point of correction, thanks to the ticket texter, because all of us have said it, that they'll win the division again. Well, they haven't won the division.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Wow.
Sorry.
You know what?
I forgot. I was busy getting yelled at by the Tigers for how dare you say we were, what was AJ's comment? Acting like we were falling apart. Well, you in fact did fall.
You know what? To that ticket texter,
you win. Yes. Derek Jeter, respect kid.
You're right.
Let's go to Harry, 97.1. Harry, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, not too bad. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right. Here's my Scooble take, and I don't know if this is Captain Obvious or if this has been spoken about before, but why aren't they doing it like the NFL quarterback contracts? Give Scooble an offer, which makes him the highest paid pitcher for this winter, 5-year deal or whatever. He's going to be. He can walk around. Him and Boris can walk around and say that he's the highest paid pitcher, and then he either takes it or leaves that contract and bets it on himself next season.
Well, I mean,
but at
listen,
risk, he's going to lose the money. He'll lose $40 million a year that he can immediately start cashing in at the bank account.
Harry, I think we already heard last offseason they made him an offer, but it was termed non-competitive.
That's my difference. Publicly make him. We're going to make you the highest, just like they do in the NFL.
The highest paid
every week,
doesn't.
every month, there's another highest paid quarterback.
Okay, I agree, but Harry, making him the highest paid pitcher in baseball is baked into whoever makes the offer. It's about term. This will be the last contract he ever gets as a professional. He's not a 23-year-old kid. This isn't Paul Skeens. This isn't like what Mike Trout did. So, Harry,
at least the last contract where he's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Exactly. Like
you could also do
the dude in New York.
Who's the dude in New York?
Make him the highest paid pitcher, then he's got something to think about, or he walks away. Either he does a Scherzer and bets on himself, or give him the best going rate deal now.
Well, there's another option. I mean, I don't want to complicate matters. It's called the Bregman. You do what the Red Sox did. They so egregiously overpaid Alex Bregman, but in a shorter term with opt-outs all the time, offer Skubal $50 a year, 4-year deal with an opt-out after every year. Guy wants to opt out making $50 million a year?
It's going to make our lives easier.
No,
We're going to have shows all the time.
Right. I'm just making a point. There are ways to do it that if you don't want to pay the term, the player's not giving up flexibility while making substantial. But here's your issue. Boris is going to be in his ear saying, that's not as good as it seems because I'll get the Mets to pay you $50 for 7 years and they'll throw you $350 million. They'll give you a piece of Coney Island. It won't matter.
So, and I'm not equating the two, but just the way the contract went. So basically, he's going to kind of do what Cousins did with signing those contracts year after year where he took the guaranteed money for 1 year.
The Red Sox paid Alex Bregman more than Aaron Judge and gave him 3 opt-outs. And he's triggered the opt-out while making substantial money this year. Now he's going to go to the open market and he'll double dip. You could do that with Skubal. I can't tell you he'd take it. But to Harry's point, if you want the Tigers to look real, you be the one to say, we offered Tarik Skubal 5 years at $250 million with multiple opt-outs, and he farted in our face. You do that, you win the fans back.
I don't think that wins the fans back. I get what you're saying.
How could I criticize the organization? I wouldn't. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to justify it. That's an unbelievable offer.
Until all of a sudden they're like, just because I think there's some people who, whatever it takes, make sure he signs on the dotted line.
But that's not realistic.
I understand.
That's why I said 2 years ago, if you wanted to get this done, you'd have to pay him 10 at $400 to give up the last 2 years before free agency and to preserve 2 years of his prime. Versus you've used those 2 years now. I can't make it a 10-year deal.
And that's what I said. If it's a 5-year deal, I can live with that 10 years.
I thought Rico would love my little idea there.
No.
Nope.
No, you said that people would love it. And Mike, I could already see the people. How come we didn't? Because it's like, okay, you got partial credit for going after Bregman, but you didn't really get him.
They got full credit in my world because that offer was
ranks right up there with
hyper aggressive.
The parade for making the wild card. Like, do we celebrate this really?
I don't.
I know you do.
But I know what a World Series is. I mean, this town, it's just this town's amazing sometimes. $97.1.
Brought to you by MyMichiganRoof.com. This breaking news here today, Jaden Ivey is going to miss at least 4 weeks, or at least be reevaluated in 4 weeks, as he has a surgery before the season starts. As of yesterday, J.B. Bickerstaff said he was day to day, but obviously he will not play tonight as they wrap up the preseason. While J.B. Bickerstaff's number one goal tonight was to stay healthy, and this. Left tackle Taylor Decker returned to Lions practice today. Kirby Joseph and Terrion Arnold were not there. Detroit officially announced they've signed safety Jamie Robinson to their active roster. He was last with Kansas City's practice squad. He's played 21 total NFL games with the Panthers. Red Wings forward Lucas Raymond was back practicing today after missing the win over the Panthers last night. Todd McClellan said he's still day-to-day. Detroit continues their 3-game homestand tomorrow against the Lightning. John Gibson will be in net. Tigers utility player Ryan Kreidler has been called up by the Minnesota Twins off waivers. One of their backup catchers, Tomas Nido, is also elected free agency. Both championship series continue tonight in baseball. At 6:08, the Brewers are on the road against the Dodgers, trailing 2-0. Seattle hosts Toronto at 8:33, up 2-1. Yankees pitcher Carlos Rodon underwent surgery on his elbow today. The start of his 26th season will be impacted. Aaron Judge will avoid surgery on his elbow, however. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
All right, let's touch table on some football. David, music, please. Oh, no. Oh, God. Here we go.
Yes.
I know what this is. All right, let's hear it. David, I need you with me now.
The NFL Top 14 Power Ranking.
All right, Niners number 1. We can just be done with that.
No, actually.
All right.
No, the Niners come in at 14th, and this will probably be their last time in this poll.
Thank God. ATL, do your job. All right, let's go. Niners are dead. They're done.
Niners
Warner's
at 14.
Done. Bosa's done. Every receiver's hurt or playing hurt, and Purdy's a rat. It's over.
But if they win.
Yeah, Fred Warner's ankle says hello. I don't care.
Wow.
Go to 13. I've had enough.
You know what? I got a call from the league. They buzzed me down and said Kansas City at 13.
Ooh. I think that's too low.
Wow.
They're playing better football. Script writers are not. Rashee Rice back this week. The offense, the passing game looks better. Probably a little low. I mean, I'm fine if you want to make them earn it, but that's a little low.
Yeah. I think right now, I think they're playing the best out of their division.
You know what's going to happen too? Script writers, they're going to go out and trade for Breece Hall or Alvin Kamara.
Yep, you're
right. And then
right.
you're going to have a real effing problem
You're
on your hands.
exactly right.
So it's fine. Let Rico keep bleeping all over him.
At 12, I got the Jags.
That's acceptable.
I think the fishing vest holds them back. Look, I don't think they're as good as they've been because they are so dependent on turnovers. And the defense has created them. But it's hiding the fact Trevor Lawrence has only played one excellent game this year. That was against the Chiefs. He's got to be better.
At number 11,
the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, yes. I disagree, though, but I hear you.
Old balls.
They're 4-1. Their victories aren't that great. But
no, not at all.
You know what? You can only play who's on your schedule and beat who's on your schedule.
But I'm just tired. Like, what kind of blood oath did Tomlin make with Satan for this team to always end up right in this position? Why can't they just go 3-14?
Well,
I'm
hold
tired
on.
of it.
Because we ain't hit November or December yet. We're just going to go downhill from here.
Unless you win tonight, David.
Nope. After the night, it's downhill.
Okay. We'll see. But I didn't think they would be at this point right
That's
now.
true. That's very true.
So at number 10, I have the Denver Broncos.
I'm good with it. I think they've got upside of being the second best team in the AFC. Sloppy performance last week, but it was halfway around the world. The offense still isn't clicking full speed ahead. That's the missing piece. The defense, the pass rush, it's all there. The offense has got to get going.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because everyone wanted to focus on the Jets part of that game overseas. But the Broncos only scored 13 points, and they did not look good. They have to fix it.
And again, I don't think they're going to score a ton this week against the Giants. They're just not sharp. But luckily, there's time, and they're winning on their way to doing so. Hey, remember, guys, they got screwed. The script writers were out in Indianapolis. They got screwed in that game. That penalty flag was 38 seconds late on the field goal. So they're even better than the record indicates.
I mean, I've seen worse. The Ohio State-Miami national championship game.
All-time script writers.
They had hats and T-shirts on. At number 9, I have the Green Bay Packers.
No, way too high. I you know what I've termed them on the podcast? Empty calories. I mean, they're great between the 20s, but something's missing. The running game isn't where it needs to be. And if you look at their second half splits defensively, they fall off a cliff. Mm-hmm. You basically got Jonathan Smith coaching the Packers. And you look, you know it's bad when LaFleur's talking about it publicly, saying I was meeting with Jeff Hafley, trying to figure out what our problem is. I can't have them in the top 10. I watch them. The talent's there. It should look better than it does.
Right. But they could argue and say we have one of the best victories so far in the league.
And I feel like if they played the Lions this week, they'd lose by 10.
They would.
But they beat the Lions.
Okay.
All right. At number 8, we have an LA team, the Chargers.
Are you on drugs?
Yikes.
No. I mean, without Pipkins and Alt, they can't block a soul.
Understand.
Okay, I tell you what. Come home this week and beat the Colts. I'll have them in the top 10. But they got to show me. Come on, man. They've been dreadful with the injuries. And their running game's falling apart. They should be another team in the Breece Hall,
they are
Kamara
searching.
Sweepstakes, man. They need a back.
A team that wants to run the ball has no running back.
And no tackles.
No. Well, the other LA team comes in at number 7.
I'll live
the
with
Rams.
It. They played like crap last week, but it was going west to east, early window. They played a little flat.
They were thinking about their London trip. Yeah.
I'm okay with the Rams there. That's fine.
At number 6, fresh off of 2 straight losses, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and we have to have a conversation. They built a defense to stop the Chiefs. One problem. They're not stopping everyone else. It hasn't gelled, and alarm bells are going off is that they did a lot of work to get a bigger, more physical front there to stop the run. That's not working. Bijan is still running. And guess what? Here's my surprise face. Matt Milano's hurt again. I'm very concerned with them. Very.
You are so right, Mike. They built their defense for a possible, championship game matchup against the Chiefs, but you got to get there. You got to beat everybody else.
At number 5, it is the Mike Valeni special, the New England Patriots.
It's high.
Ugh.
I mean, it's high, but we can talk about it. They belong on this list. I'd have them more towards 10, 11. Drake May, the last 2 weeks, the level of throws he's making is elite. Mm-hmm. Christian Gonzalez being back has helped that defense. They need to get that running game going a little bit more. Probably need to add a back. But yes, for the first time, I'm allowing the possibility of the Patriots winning the AFC East.
Yeah, they're tied right now with the Bills.
And they've got the win over
tiebreaker.
That's right.
So that's why they are sitting ahead.
Vrabel's about to drop his balls in Tennessee.
Since this is radio.
You got rid of me? Okay.
Yeah, since this is radio, people, I am rolling my eyes at this one.
Okay. I'm glad that I'm here for you and Mike and your amusement. All right.
I think I've largely been very fair.
There you have. David, on the other hand. I put his Steelers in there. He still doesn't care. At number 4, we have the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
Too high.
Crack cocaine.
Too high.
They still get the job. They're broken, but somehow or another, they find ways to get the job.
3.5 yards a carry on the ground.
I said they're broken.
Then they can't be top 5 in the NFL.
But they still win.
You know what? The Vikings are going to beat them.
Okay.
I don't care if it's Bobby McPick-6 or Carson Wentz. They're going to beat them. Okay. They're broken. And they're out here talking about we need to play action pass more. How do you play action pass when your run game's booty? They're only play action passing 19% of the time, which means Hurts has got to throw it 35 times a game when he really can only throw it 25 times a game. I'm all out on that.
Okay.
Plus Sirianni, punchable face. Can't be in the top 5.
At number 3, Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts.
Way too high. They're fun. It's exciting. They looked like ass last week as Jacoby Brissett sexed them up. I think they're going to go to the Chargers and lose this week if Pipkins and Alt are back. They're good. I don't know that they're that good. That's a little bit much for me.
Yeah, while I'm not impressed with the Chargers, I think still them Colts beating them would still show me something. So not yet.
Okay. Like I said, I think that some of the best football is being played in the state of Indiana, and they're still not getting any juice. All right. At number 2 and 1 leads up to the battle for who's going to be at number 1 next week. At number 2, I have the Detroit Lions.
I'm not mad about this, but to me, they're number 1. I know what you're going to do. It's provocative and exciting, but I right now I'd have the Lions number 1. They've answered the bell. They got screwed and, yes, made their own mistakes at Kansas City, but losing a primetime desperation game in Arrowhead is no crime.
No, it's not a crime, Mike, but you talk about answering the bell. That's team number 1. It's the Bucs.
Won't be for long.
They just keep answering the bell every time. No lead is safe on them. They find a way to come back and get a victory. And they've done it now with pretty much the three of us maybe playing wide receiver for them this Monday night.
That much is true. All right. You can have it for a week. Lions are going to take the crown.
That's it. It's week to week.
They're beating that team.
I mean, Pittsburgh could go out there and score 50, and they'll be number 1.
Yeah. The Lions are going to win that game. And look, Baker's comebacks, wonderful, but they're hiding the fact that defense is giving up some stuff this year. So I don't know. But 1 week, I'll give it to you.
Okay. That's your NFL power rankings, 97-1. The other day, I'm over at a friend's place watching football, but his setup, it was a hot mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find the game, claimed he was a big fan. I was being fanfish. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find all the best games and all my favorite teams all in one place. And the way that I watch, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in the living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear, feels like you're right there at the stadium. Sometimes I got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications.
I'm so special. I'm Rico Beard.
Yeah, and live stats right on my TV. You can have it too, Mike. It's the best seat in the house every time next game day. Make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
We've talked about Northville Lumber for a long time, largest Trex decking outlet in the country, and Northville is Michigan's Trex Superstore. They stock all colors of Trex decking, railing, lighting. They have it all the time and at the absolute lowest prices. So whether you're a builder or do-it-yourselfer, you can count on Northville to have all the Trex you need when you need it. Call Northville today, or better yet, stop by the showroom, take home some samples. It's NorthvilleLumber.com. That's NorthvilleLumber.com. We just had a moment. Hold on a second. We'll get to the what we were really going to do. But Evan came in here in his little Sherpa coat or whatever the hell he's wearing. He's acting like it's 20 degrees outside. What the hell are you two talking about with USC and Michigan and this private equity Big Ten thing?
So the Big Ten is trying to vote on whether they want to go private equity. It basically would be a $2.4 billion private equity deal.
Oh, so my school still cries poor, though, right?
Yes.
Oh,
but
sick.
you know what? At this point, you won't be able to cry.
Oh, okay.
Poor. Sounds like of the 10 schools, actually 18, 16 of the schools are on board with this. 2 schools are not on board with this deal.
Oh, let me guess. Carlton Banks is one of them.
It's Michigan.
Yep, that's right.
And it's USC.
The old Silver Spooner's got a problem, huh?
So sounds like Michigan has a problem, and the Michigan, their chairman, their board of regents spoke out, and Regent Jordan Acker says the Big Ten does not need to be sold to save college sports. It needs to lead. We cannot cry poverty while spending tens of millions on buyouts. We can't have college sports, the college experience dictated by private equity. To me, it sounds as if, because part of this deal is, Mike, and with private equity, you're going to see stadium naming rights where it's going to be, this stadium or whatever it is. McDonald's could buy Spartan Stadium. Right. So
prefer if they bulldozed it.
It could.
Sorry.
You want to listen?
I'm done. No, I'm good.
But I think maybe for Michigan, part of the reason is the tradition. They don't want the big house named.
Oh, blow it out your ass.
You don't want to see, because with this
tradition, that ship left the dock when they cheated their balls off. Tradition. Get the hell out of here.
You don't want to see the maize and blue jersey with Taco Bell logo on it.
For God's sake. No, see, okay, hold on. Am I wrong in thinking they just want unequal revenue share?
I think that's a part of it.
I read a piece the other day that USC and Michigan had a meeting this week at their game.
Saying, and that's another reason why I think these two are trying to fight, is saying, well, we bring more to the table, so we should get a bigger cut.
So does Ohio State, so does Oregon, so do a lot of schools.
Which leads me to wonder, okay, if you would have told me that Ohio State and Oregon were the 2 schools who were holding this up, okay, I can't really argue that.
Meanwhile, no offense to anybody,
but USC and Michigan holding it up, it's like, okay, guys, we're not in the 90s anymore.
No, we're definitely not, considering you paid a high school quarterback $15 million from an Illinois grad's wife. Like, dude, just spare me with any ruse of tradition. It's all dead.
Yes.
The fact that the Big Ten has 18 teams, it's dead.
But yes, according to Ross Dellinger, he said that Michigan Regent Jordan Acker said, make no mistake, in 5 years, we will regret this deal.
Okay, but based on what? The sports, look, to me, the whole thing with all of this is the idea of conference affiliation has become a complete kerfuffle. Right. Look at, for instance, Michigan's schedule. Look at the teams they don't play. You don't even get to play the teams in your conference because there's too many of them.
Correct. And then I think I laughed when I saw this, but I thought about the fact that I think Northern Illinois is headed to
Mountain West.
Yes.
Nothing says Mountain West Conference like DeKalb, Illinois.
So
I know. Look, the private equity thing is largely a death nail as far as sports goes, because then you're getting into something completely different.
No, it's the ultimate in the money grab where...
Well, right, but it's also what decision-making power is PE going to have over the decisions the Big Ten makes? Well, my answer would be all of it.
Pretty much.
So, no, again, it is just a slow descent into, Dante's Inferno as far as the sport goes. But for Michigan and USC to poke their head up out of the mole hole, well, tell me what your issues are. Acting, now you want to be virtuous, you cheating scumbags? Oh, you want to be virtuous? You're the ones who had the most egregious, all the rule breaking you could have. Look what you did with the Bryce Underwood deal. How convenient it was dated before Deloitte had to
Oh, no.
rubber stamp it.
Right. That was going to be done before, what was it, July 1st?
Yes,
oh, yeah.
and understand, I'm not mad that they did it. But when you want to talk to me about integrity, tradition, and blobbity-blue, no, I am going to throw that in your face. Once again, for the slow people in the back. I'm not mad that they did it. What they did is smart. But you don't get to do that and then say this.
And see, I also wonder if it's, if you're a smart school, if you're one of the have-nots, that you know what, we're going to take advantage of this, use this money, and buy our way back to the top.
But they're not going. See, that's the folly in all this. Here's what's going to happen. It'll be baseball with revenue sharing, where the Pirates pocket the money and don't
No,
spend
I said if you're one of those schools and you decide we're not going to pocket the money, we're going to spend this money and we're going to go the Indiana route, where all of a sudden now you see Minnesota Golden Gopher football in the top 10 consistently every year.
That's funny.
Because PJ Fleck is just out here like a drunken sailor.
But you think you don't think it's the unequal rev share. You think tradition's playing a role in this?
I think it's a lot of different things, Mike. I think it's the unequal rev share. I think it's tradition. And I do think that some of the top schools don't want the bottom schools to have access to the money.
That part I'll accept. And I think, look, that's like anything else in life. Everything's a club that you're not invited to.
Right.
You see it in other sports too, and I'm not going to nerd out, but like I could give you a horse racing example. That very thing is taking place right now as far as like the same 4 sires are the ones that get to the Kentucky Derby, and the same 10 people or 10 operations buy every one of those, and all they do is raise the price to where nobody has access to those. Therefore, they gatekeep the Derby. Therefore, they gatekeep the Stallions. They gatekeep the next money wave of the sport. It's the same as what you're selling here.
It's why the SEC wasn't that great on the NIL stuff, because, wait, you mean the people in the North can not actually spend on people too, and we don't get the athletes here? Yeah. That's what's happening.
Well, I do have some more Big Ten news here, and it is from Indiana. Indiana coach Kirk Cignetti has agreed to a new 8-year contract through 2033 with a raise up to $11.6 million. Makes him the 3rd highest salary
David, he's got
nationally.
Mark Cuban funding the program. Penn State can't offer him anything. Any preconceived notions you have about Indiana are dead.
Right. And here's the thing.
Matt Rule's going to be Penn State's coach. You believe this?
Here's why this is the smartest. This is a
that
win-win.
guy's like Portly Lane Kiffin. He just falls up in life. It is really quite something.
Well, no, he normally does well. He hasn't done well in Nebraska. He doesn't know.
Bombed with the Panthers, and he's been a bag of balls with Nebraska.
A lot of college coaches bomb in the pros. Come on.
2 jobs he did well at, Temple and Baylor. 2 jobs he's been ass. We'll call it even.
Right. I mean, I expected him to bomb in the NFL because most college coaches do. It's just unfair. Now, the Nebraska thing, yes, that's why I'm like, okay, why do you want? Oh, he played there.
Oh, good. Then get a neck roll and some eye black, and we'll pretend it's 1983.
I got you. But no, as far as Cignetti at Indiana, it's a great deal. If I'm Cignetti, guess what? You don't have to go and build a program back up. You're building it right now.
Right.
You're the architect. You're the guy that they're going to be talking about and singing songs about for decades. It's you. So you don't have to say, well, Joe Pa would have did this or that, or you know what? It's all about you right now. It would be foolish for him to leave because you have the access. You're the only game in town. Lord knows Purdue's not going to challenge you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I would have stayed and signed that gigantic deal. And if I'm Indiana, they're enjoying life as a have. Yeah, I wouldn't let him walk out the door.
No, and look, this is a preview for State fans too. Listen, both of these things can be true. Jonathan Smith should be fired. It's going to be really hard to find a good coach because the prices of coaches is about to skyrocket. We talked about this earlier in the week. The carousel this year is going to be absolute chaos. Look at here are the jobs that are either available or about to be. Arkansas, Florida, Florida State, Penn State, Michigan State, Oregon State, Kentucky. I'm probably missing a few. The point is, there are more jobs.
UCLA.
Sure, but there's more jobs than actual qualified, proven candidates. And what you're seeing now is Kurt Cignetti is making $11 million a year. That's money Nick Saban never touched. Okay?
And now, because the money's going to constantly keep going up.
Except at State, where we cry poor and talk about the dairy store.
No. Now, here's the thing, and maybe Indiana showed people the way, and maybe you can go the unconventional route to find a coach. You don't have to go and get that coach from here. They went to James Madison, and it worked for them. So maybe other schools will say, you know what, we don't have to chase after these people. Maybe there's a guy out there at a smaller school, and we'll just give this guy a chance. I think Cignetti has opened the door.
I think
for a lot of people.
Cignetti is going to cause the unintended consequence of people thinking they can duplicate what he did.
Yes. You know what he is going to be, Mike?
He's an agent of chaos.
It was back in the day. Remember Russell Wilson and the grad transfer? Everybody thought that they will just find their quarterback as a grad transfer, and he was the unicorn. It was Kenneth Walker. Oh, we can just
John
go
O'Corn
to the portal.
Was sweet.
Yeah, we can go into the portal, and it didn't work.
Okay, if you're 65 or older, it's that time of year again. Review your Medicare health insurance plans. The annual enrollment period, it's on, and it is now through December 7th. With the changes in Medicare, you need to call Mike Pepper, National Benefit Plans. Over 30 years of experience in the health insurance industry, Mike and his team are going to shop the entire market, find you a supplement solution that's not only affordable, but fits your needs. Call them today, 877-734-2200, or on the web at nbphealth.com. Remember, National Benefit Plans wants to be your health and life insurance agency for a lifetime.
Brought to you by MyMichiganRoof.com. This breaking at the top of the hour, Piston star Jaden Ivey underwent knee surgery today to relieve right knee discomfort. The team says it's unrelated to the fibula injury last season. He'll undergo rehab now and be reevaluated in 4 weeks. You can hear the Pistons and Wizards played their last preseason game tonight right here on the Ticket at 7. The Wings were back in the practice ice with Lucas Raymond, who missed the Panthers' win yesterday. Lions offensive tackle Taylor Decker was back at practice today in a limited capacity. Kirby Joseph remained out while Lee McNeil was a full go. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto. More at 5 or at 97.1theticket.com.
David, a couple of ticket texts if you'd be so kind, and then we'll spend a moment here on the Jaden Ivey thing. But go ahead. We got any ticket texts? I apologize. This drives me nuts acting like that sport's anything other than money. And now you want to be holier than thou when you're just off of one of the worst cheating scandals ever. Shut up.
Sounds like college football is going to be on 200 different streaming sites if that deal goes through. We can't have anything. I strongly dislike billionaires littered in a truck.
See, I don't think it's going to be on the different streaming sites. I think people just are going to have to get used to seeing logos and stuff on their uniforms and at the stadium and naming rights and things like that. And I think that's going to be different. People will be outraged, but they were outraged when they put logos on the Tigers uniforms until you weren't.
Can't wait for MSU to be sponsored by Astroglide.
Don't make me hit this red button.
EPT pregnancy field at Spartan Stadium. Why? Because they're getting babies put in them every week. Good. Do the private equity deal. I can't wait to see who wants to buy it.
Someone says private equity is definitely going to destroy this. It won't be just naming rights. Just wait and see. Someone else says, for once in my life, I agree with Michigan. Private equity ruins everything it touches. Don't touch my college football.
I mean, we're at the point now where
don't touch my college football.
Right?
What?
We're already down that road. So,
do you enjoy your conference road trip to? Let me check my notes. Los Angeles.
I mean, yeah, the fact that we don't know the Michigan State game because
who cares?
There's a draft on which network's gonna get them.
I don't really think it matters what time they play that
I
game.
actually hope.
No, it doesn't. But just the fact that they don't know. It's like, really, do you know? I was like, no, seriously, we don't know. They hold a draft, and then they'll call and be like, okay, draft is over, and here's who's playing at what time and on what channel.
Condom with a hole in it field at Spartan Stadium.
You'll be happy to know that won't be the name, Mike.
Tremendous.
Anyone, this is from Keith in Schwartz Creek.
Dyson Field at Spartan Stadium because we suck.
He says, anyone want to explain to the simps the reason private equity is involved in the first place, and what are the pros and cons to this?
Yeah, the pros are simple. Private equity is buying up what at one point was unthinkable. They are buying up major positions in global sports franchises. So in the NBA, very quietly, in the NHL, very quietly, owners are allowed up to a threshold to sell a piece of their franchise at a valuation to private equity. Now, like the New York Giants just did this. John Mara,
NFL did it too. Yeah,
John Mara sold, I think, like a 10% non-controlling stake at a $7 billion valuation. It's an immediate cash infusion, and they play the long game. All private equity are large portfolios of businesses at assessed value, and their vision is growing them. Now, there's a different way to play it too, where you see private equity buying up single-family American homes. That's a larger play to turn us into a society of renters. Now that is, look, when you're talking about potentially manipulating the American housing market, that's way different than saying, yeehaw, I bought 6% of the Clippers. But it is just, it's a long gain investment where the current owner or group gets a huge cash infusion at a massive valuation. And what these private equity portfolios are doing are taking stakes in gold standard blue chip, not stocks, but entities.
And the problem is, look, when this originally happened and NIL and all of these things came out, if they would have just said it's going to be a hard cap, this is what's going to happen, we wouldn't have this. But until an adult will finally step up, and now it's too late because now it's just going to be turned into this arms race where, the only people who are going to get rich are marginal college kids who can just sit and play for 5 years and make a ton of money because they're never going to make it to the pros.
I couldn't believe Jeff Sims was still in college football. Did you see that last weekend?
He is?
He started for Arizona State because Leavitt was hurt. You got to be kidding me. This kid has sucked since before COVID, and he's still here?
I did not know that.
I'm glad I didn't watch that game.
Well, let me help you. I want to assure you, time didn't make him any better. Utah 42, Arizona State 10.
Wow.
I'm so glad I didn't turn that game on. Wow. Well, there's a lot of Spartan Stadium names coming through.
Let me hear a few. This is great.
It should be sponsored by Waste Management.
Yes. What about Colin Blow Field at Spartan Stadium?
I can promise you people won't be that name. Go ahead, David.
But never mind.
Be careful.
Spartan Stadium presented by Summer's Eve. That is from Steve.
Oh, my.
We should probably stop this right now. I love all of you guys. I don't want to be doing the show solo tomorrow.
I didn't do anything.
I do have something here, though, because, Mike, you've always mentioned how, both of you have mentioned how it doesn't take that long to change over a program. So just so people know, Kirk Cignati, he got the deal. We talked about it, $11 million a year. Well, 2 years ago this weekend, Indiana had lost to Rutgers. It was going 3-9. That was their homecoming weekend.
Yeah.
And he made $677,000 at James Madison. Now he's 17-2 at Indiana, playoff appearance, and another one on the way, and he's getting $11 million.
Got a lot of money for that hair dye.
You can change it, man, quickly.
And again, do I
hair's
think?
dye?
I'm kidding. Man, he's up there looking like Wayne Newton.
Kidding.
Come on now. Mucilex Field at Spartan Stadium.
No, you're missing the best name, Mike. Artesian Pretzel Field.
I got plenty of names. They just aren't fit for the air. I'm trying to be as PC as possible.
No, you're not. No, he's not.
I've just had it. Because it's just here's the one thing too. The odds are Indiana will end up regretting that contract. You do realize that. Mm-hmm. But in the here and now, much like when State signed
Tucker,
good old Mr. Chopper, you had to do it. It just is what it is.
Hey, keep chopping.
Keep chopping.
You like this one?
Oh, boy.
The Big House, presented by Blake Corum, LLC.
Yeah, exactly. Presented by BC2 in Wyoming. No offense, but please just stop thinking you're the arbiters of tradition and integrity. You let it go. You enjoyed yourself. You don't get to get it back.
So Ray-Ban Stadium at Michigan, the Spyglass.
Yeah, sure.
I like that one. I do. I like that one. That's all I can read, by the way. I am done because there's a lot of adult
I was gonna say,
stuff
David,
coming through.
Read the one you just said to me.
I'm not going to read that one.
Can you edit it so it's airable?
Nope.
Can I see it in the commercial break?
I'll say Flashlight Field at Spartan Stadium.
Oh, dear.
I think you know.
What, Duracell? I know.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was trying to clean it up.
I'm sorry, Rico.
He whispers it in my ear. Like, I understand, David. I'm trying to clean it up for you.
Lions Den Field at Spartan Stadium. All right, we're done. But Rico's right. We should move on.
Thank you.
Okay. NFL Thursdays. What a segue into a FanDuel read, huh? FanDuel's got you covered. Touchdown jackpot. You guess the first or last touchdown of the game, you are entered into a pool for $2 million of bonus bets. It's FanDuel.com/ticket. That's FanDuel.com/ticket. And you are ready to roll. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, 21 and up, President Michigan. Opt-in is required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms, sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just staying away from the game. I don't know what to do with the game.
You
now.
take Georgia.
I don't
It's
know.
Lane Kiffin in a big spot. You know what to do. All right, just move along.
If they can check the ball down, it's going to be just running a straight line and you beat Georgia's defense. No, absolutely not.
What?
Are we still doing the Lane Kiffin can't win a
He's not going to win a big game like this.
Okay.
Come on, it's
I
Georgia.
thought he shred.
It's between the hedges. He ain't winning down there. If this were at Vaught Hemingway, maybe I'd have a different opinion. Georgia lives for this.
Maybe his daughter's dating a Georgia player now.
I'm not going there. Okay, David, continue.
I'll go to this game now. I'll go to the ACC. And it is number 12, Georgia Tech going to Duke.
Say it.
Duke is favored by 1.5.
Unranked favorite
So I
over ranked.
have to go with QB Darian Mensah
Yes.
and Duke.
Off a bye week. Georgia Tech escaped last week. Duke is somehow, under Manny Diaz, a better offensive team than a defensive team. Duke is favorite? Duke. It ends for Georgia Tech this
Is somebody
week.
injured on Georgia Tech?
Yeah,
Or-
Haynes King. He fell out of his mom's womb injured. Haynes King is hurt every game. He got hurt at birth, too. He broke his leg.
He's their version of Alante Brown.
And they run him to death. Okay. You'll see Haynes King with 23 carries and 6 visits to the blue tent. Duke.
I really thought you were going to say something real. He fell out of his bed or he fell out something.
He's constantly injured. The kid's tough
But
as
is
nails.
it the Kirby Joseph blue tent where you come back?
Whatever was in that tent, Kirby went in on a wheelchair. He came out dancing.
Let's go over to the Big Ten here. And you all are probably going to laugh at this one.
What? Let me hear it.
Penn State at Iowa.
No.
And I am going +3 Penn State.
You're out of your mind.
Because Iowa can't stop the run.
It's
and
Kinnick.
all Penn State's going to do is run the ball.
Backup quarterback, new coach, a team that's quit, kids
Okay.
probably portaling.
David, had you told me the new interim coach bounce, maybe?
That's nothing to do with the coach.
But it's
Who's coaching him? Morris Watts?
No, it's at Iowa, right?
Oh, it's not Harlan Barnett and his battery operated headset.
It's at Iowa, right?
It's at Iowa.
No, you don't have a quarterback, and
they don't need one. They can run the ball.
David, Iowa can only do one thing, and they can play defense. They can't score.
They can't stop the run though.
But
they just allowed a season high in rushing yards.
This defines pillow fight. Penn State, Iowa.
You know what?
Oh man, feathers everywhere.
Dude, the Big Ten's so sick.
We've lost Kenny.
I even got cookies because on the podcast he's like, "Oh look, another ranked SEC matchup." We go, "Yeah, where are all the Big Ten ones?"
David, put it like this: if I'm Iowa, there's 9 in the box.
But can Iowa score?
Okay, guys, no one cares. I don't even think the poor sick kids care anymore.
Why are we
just
spending
leave it
so much
alone.
time on this game?
Just please pick another game.
I'll go
Those
over.
poor kids deserve better.
I'll go
Penn
over.
State, Iowa, draw the blinds. Watch. You know what? Someone turn on Disney for the kids. Shouldn't have to watch this crap.
Could have been watching Nemo instead. I'm watching
anything. Put Moana on rerun.
Let's go over. Well, we show Moana. Let's go
I don't
over.
know, Mr. BET. You tell me.
I'm just waiting for him to get a Cam Newton hat.
Let's go over to the SEC now, guys.
Yes, a real conference.
Missouri going to Auburn. Missouri, of course, is coming off their first loss. I'm going Missouri. -1.5. They are going to stomp Auburn in this game.
That's the problem. Auburn doesn't get stomped.
I was about to say, yeah.
Their defense is tough as nails. Missouri with an emotional letdown. You go on the road. This is as back against the wall as it gets for Auburn. It's a complete stay away for me.
See, I would have done the opposite. And Kenny, can we have this conversation? This is non-pillow fight.
We may. Yes, we may.
Okay, I would take Auburn in this game.
I think we need Hugh Freeze in the hospital bed coaching again, like when he was at Liberty. That's the version of Hugh Freeze we need. Escorts in the cell phone, hospital bed in the press box. We got to change the mojo down at Auburn.
Let's stay in the SEC, and this one's not going to be a pretty game.
Let's hear it.
This is Oklahoma at South Carolina.
Yeah.
The over-under is 43.5, and I'm going with the under because combined, both teams sit at the bottom 30 in explosive plays. Oklahoma only scored 6 points last week. South Carolina only scored 10 points last week. It's going to be bad.
But, David, and it's normally games like this where you're like the first 1 to 10
wins,
and it's going to end up being like 49-48.
And that's been South Carolina all year. I mean, I watched VTech South Carolina, and 10 years went off my life. I mean, yeah, I can't argue with this, David. It's a depressing move.
It is very depressing.
It's a race to 20, no question.
So, SEC version of Iowa football. Gotcha.
It's bad.
Okay.
Let's move over to the NFL, and let's give you one for tonight. The Steelers at Cincinnati. Yes, it is 5.5 for the Steelers, but I'm going to go the over. The over 43.5 in this game. Here's why. Joe Flacco, all he does is just throw the ball vertically, and that's all they need in Cincinnati. They're going to score a few points, and the Steelers will keep up. It could be 24-21, 26-20, not a lot, but that will be over. So I'm going the over 43.5.
I refuse to comment on this game. Rico Beard.
You're not excited about that Steelers Bengals tonight?
No.
The only thing, next, are we going to break down the Dolphins Browns?
I like the Browns in that game. Dolphins don't rush the passer. They don't stop the run.
I do too.
Dylan Gabriel have time to throw.
Stadium implosion. How about that?
Browns, and they get old capri pants fired. You can't be a serious head coach wearing capri pants.
Who it comes out.
Science.
Will you guys please show up to the meetings?
Yeah, and then Tua had to apologize for that one. Real good scene in Miami.
Oh, it's lovely down there, right?
He gets to the podium. Hey, guys, seriously, we got a players-only meeting, and if the media wants to come, if you guys don't, so please show up. Please.
Man, I got
question mark?
And then let's close it out with this one here. The Commanders are visiting the Dallas Cowboys.
Uh-oh.
Yes, the
Over.
Cowboys at +1.5. It could be over. Know why? Because Dallas has scored 40 points in each of their games at home.
The problem for Dallas is they're 0 for the season if they don't score at least 37.
That's true. You're exactly right.
That's not sustainable.
No, take the over. When Dallas plays
at home, they
automatic
just score.
Over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that one
what
for
is the
sure.
over under?
54 and a half.
Yes.
Yeah, over.
CeeDee Lamb may play. I don't know. We'll
Doesn't
see.
matter.
He's been practicing.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. Don Meredith could be playing.
Over. Michael Irvin, over.
Sure.
Emmitt Smith, over. Oh, man.
Deuce.
Those
Troy Aikman
are your best bets.
Brought to you by Michigan Lottery. The Pistons announced that Jaden Ivey underwent surgery today to relieve right knee discomfort. This is unrelated to the fibula injury that kept him out a majority of last season. They'll reevaluate in 4 weeks. Detroit wrapping up the preseason slate against the Wizards tonight. You can hear that 6:35 pregame with yours truly right here on the ticket. Lions left tackle Taylor Decker was back at practice today for the first time in nearly a month in a limited capacity. Safety Kirby Joseph, corner Terrion Arnold, and DJ Reader sat out, although Reader got some work in on the side. Ali McNeil was practicing at full capacity today. He's antsy to get back in the field. What's it going to be like waiting until Monday, though? The Red Wings beat the Panthers 4-1 without Lucas Raymond last night, who's suffering from an upper body injury. He was back at practice today, but is still considered day-to-day, according to Tom McClellan. The NLCS chugs along tonight with the Dodgers up 2-0 against the Brewers. First pitch at 6:08. Aaron Ashby will face Tyler Glasnow on the mound there. The ALCS remains in Seattle at 8:33 as the Mariners hold a 2-1 lead. Former Tiger Max Scherzer will toe the rubber for his 500th career start, facing Luis Castillo. Indiana has agreed to an 8-year, $11.6 million extension with football coach Kirk Cignetti. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Jeremy Otto from Oregon at 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Five o'clock hour. We talked earlier in the show. What should the Tigers do with Skubal? We gave you 3 choices. Not what the Tigers will do, but what do you want the Tigers to do with Tarik Skubal? If you missed any of that, use the Odyssey Rewind. And then we just finished talking about private equity and what will happen in the Big Ten. And Kirk Cignetti ruining everything for every other coach out there because he just got paid. Flipped Indiana around and will not be headed to Penn State. So, David, a couple ticket texts before we move on.
Oh, you want more names? Is that what you want?
No. We don't want more names. And no, David, no.
Someone did mix up both of the topics here and says option D, fire Jonathan Smith. Was that one of the options there? No, that wasn't one of the options.
Dude, that's inevitable to me. That is just a matter of time of when. We'll get into this more tomorrow, but I look at this as unless a miracle happens and they beat Indiana, if you're seriously thinking about moving on from him, you got to let him go Sunday or Monday, because what you don't want is him going in there beating Michigan and then you got a State fan saying, "See, I told you it was going to take him some time." I don't think he's going to. And if you're going to tell me, well, you're going to have to start over, well, you're going to have to start over anyway. Because I don't know how many of his players he's going to keep. Honestly, I don't know how many of his players other teams would want. So the sad reality is he may end up keeping all of them because there's no market value for most of the players on that team.
Well, and I'm glad you said that, because I have my own questions for my own coach and Sharon Moore, because you brought up a question on can we say that earlier in the week regarding can you say that he won't win a Big Ten title, that he will not win the Big Ten, and that had me thinking, like, in my mind, I don't think so. So then what is Michigan doing? If you feel like he can't win the Big Ten, then what are we doing?
David, I think the best thing that has happened to Sharon Moore is he has fallen in the perfect spot. Tigers, playoffs, Lions, great. Michigan State's awful. So Michigan is just flying solo under the radar. Nobody's talking about what happened last Saturday night in L.A. But when you look at this team and you look at the resources that Michigan has.
Correct.
I don't know if Michigan fans are fully behind Sharon Moore to be their leader into the future. I think he's a good Band-Aid, but I don't know if he's the guy that's going to help them go into that next level. I don't think he's a guy that can help them win their next Big Ten title. And I don't think Michigan fans are really that supportive of him.
Well, because everyone's excited. Yeah, you got Underwood, the offseason. Yeah, he's coming here. He didn't come here because of Sharon Moore.
But why did
But you know what? I'm sorry, Mike.
No, I'm sorry.
Getting Underwood is like on Christmas when you would get that great toy, but your parents forgot to buy you batteries.
Correct.
So you can't do anything with it until they go to the store or the gas station and get you some batteries. He has no one throw the ball to.
Well, they don't. They have. How do I put this? I like Chip Lindsey, the offensive coordinator. What I don't understand is how we're sitting at this point, and I know this isn't an Underwood topic. I'm not trying in any way to sideswipe this. I don't understand how you have, midway through the season, developed zero pocket passing game. Zero. Thank God McCauley has given you a few unbelievable circus catches.
And now you got Marsh trying to make some catches. But, Mike, his best throws are the sidearm throw, the stuff that you don't want to see your quarterback out there doing.
The question, see, this is tough, and it's where we need Michigan fans to speak. I don't know what they're feeling. I know last year, a year ago, when they played USC, there were calls for him to be fired. Mm-hmm. Not for me. And I said, you're beating USC, so you people need to chill out. Now, I didn't imagine they'd do it on a 4th and 50 or whatever it was, but hey, mistakes are made. I guess I have a problem is that I don't envision him as this high-level CEO, championship caliber coach. I think clearly recruiting matters, but it's the money that does 75% of that. Let's just be honest. Mm-hmm. Is Sharon Moore
the name of the school that does another 20% of that?
Okay, well, then now you're down to base. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, Michigan fan. I don't know that you can make the playoff while never winning a championship, sign James Franklin. You can do that. Sharon can do that. But if championships matter, winning the Big Ten and then winning it all again, yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have doubts about that. Like, what good am I if I lie to my audience?
Because, David, to bring this conversation full circle real quick, I think him beating Ohio State put him on life support.
It did.
And it bought him another year. If somehow Jonathan Smith beats Michigan, puts him on life support, buys him another year.
See, but the thing is, and yes, Big Ten titles, it means a lot to me. That's old school, though, because you're right, Mike. You cannot win it and still make yourself, you're in the college football playoffs, and you can win the national title without it. So I think the most important thing to me in this era, though, is roster building, because everyone was so excited about Underwood, and he was here since January, practicing with them in bowl prep. But you guess what we had during that time or after that was 2 portal periods, and yet you did not get receivers. You did not get things to shore
because
up your
I'm not
offensive
sure
line.
that's what sure. And again, if Michigan fans feel I'm speaking out of turn, I am happy to be criticized. I'm offering you an opinion. I am unsure that Sharon wants to run a different offense. We all know his claim to fame was 73 straight runs against Penn State. They got the running back. They have the O-line.
Stick with what you know.
And I feel like that's what he wants to do, offensive lineman background. But then you hire Chip Lindsey. Look,
it doesn't match.
It's up to you guys. But
248-539-9797. Yeah, for Michigan fans, do you see Sharon Moore winning you a Big Ten title? Do you see Sharon Moore winning 11 games in the regular season?
A national championship. And not this year, in his time there.
Right.
Look, I think this conversation probably heats up, Rico. If they drop a game they shouldn't drop. That's really what gets fans to react.
So what, this weekend?
Well, like if they had lost to Nebraska, I think there'd be a different heat.
What about this weekend's game?
Against
Washington?
UW? Yeah. Oh no, I think fans would jump. Look, he kind of got set up as a patsy. Look at his contract.
He's still got a year to another game to be suspended. So yeah, I mean,
no, but I'm saying look at the contract with the buyout.
Oh yeah,
the buyout's nothing. The head coach at Michigan should never have a nothing buyout. Look at how long it took for him to get a contract.
Gum.
It took forever for the contract to be finished.
Fruit Stripes.
Fruit Stripe gum. There
With
you go.
With the zebra on there, whatever it was. Remember those? They all tasted the same?
Yep, 2 packs of Fruit Stripe gum and he could walk.
I don't know. It doesn't feel to the level of what the University of Michigan should have. But you want to be fair. Now, last year was a disaster. I think if you get to 9 wins this year, fine. And anything sub 9, I think you got to question it. I just don't know that he's the guy. And I'm not saying he's got to be Jim Harbaugh, but I feel like, and look, I feel like this at Michigan State, you should have a presence on the sideline. You should have someone that is a commanding presence. Mm-hmm. A program like Michigan, that's what I associate with it. Mm-hmm. I don't feel that with Sharon Moore.
No, it's almost like he wants to be Harbaugh liked. Harbaugh,
I don't know.
Whatever. Like he just wants to run the ball and then run the ball and then run the ball.
That's
you go
what
out
it
there
feels like.
And you get this phenom of a quarterback. You pay top dollar for him, but you don't give him any tools to throw the ball to. Last year, your passing game was just totally ass. And now you took an upgrade, but you didn't get receivers.
So it's just a better ass.
There you go.
It's not a good passing game. And I'm not knocking Bryce Underwood. It's the totality of the operation. It's not good.
Because not knocking Bryce has dropped some perfect passes into the hands of the receivers, and they dropped them.
And then the offset is McCauley will do a Randy Moss catch.
Right.
I want to know what Michigan fans think. It really is. It's your program, your team, and I don't think you're ever going to be able to say I've said anything filled with bias here. I'm just shooting you straight. I'm asking the question. Rico's doing the same. I mean, there's something missing there, and I do think
because right now he looks like an 8-4 coach every year.
And look, this is I hate that everything turns into warfare about this. Because the conferences have expanded to such a level, you can get a schedule like this where you play 2 good teams. Nebraska's not good. I hate to break that to all of you. You know, USC might be, yet they're 10-point underdogs to Notre Dame, by the way, who has 2 losses. You're going to play Ohio State. Outside of that, there's nothing. You don't play Oregon. You don't play Indiana. You miss a lot of the... Look, I also grade everything based on the SEC. I can't help it. The Big Ten's a lot of empty calories. It just is. The programs that were the middle tier, that were good, like Iowa, Michigan State, and Wisconsin, are all poop.
Well, I mean, now you got, Illinois.
Poop.
They're
poop. Okay. I'm sorry, they are. 248-539-9797. David, you wanna wait on the ticket text? We can wait. Okay. People will get to you. I want to hear Wolverines and their take, man. It matters. Football season, elevate your tailgate with a brand new truck from Moran Buick GMC, the 25 Sierra Elevation Crew Cab. Right now, you lease one starting at $179 a month, $999 down. The Sierra for $179 a month. Best pricing of the year. 25 Buick Envista, $259 a month. Both deals, 24 months. And inventory rolls in daily. Team at Moran committed, making it as stress-free as possible. It's the opposite of Michigan State football. No stress, hyper productivity, and they'll show a little emotion while they're selling you a car. Imagine Jonathan Smith as a car salesman.
It's here if you want it. I mean,
you tell me. Hey, Moran Buick GMC, where you always get the best price, period. It's on Telegraph, just north of Eureka and Taylor, or online at MoranExpress.com. It's Moran Buick GMC. We are professional grade. All right, let's get right to the people. So we've asked a question. I know we've spent some time this week, dropping a bomb on Jonathan Smith, and in no way is this conversation that. This is different. This is, the guy isn't terrible, but are you sure he's the guy to win championships? Not 9 or 10 games, not make the playoff, not have a shiny, recruiting toy with NIL, to win what I assume Michigan fans believe is their standard is championships, right? Are you sure Sherrone Moore is that guy? It's a question. I'm not mad if you say yes. I don't think you should be mad if people say, I have some hesitation. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And what I'm not going to do is, give Sherrone a scapegoat by saying, well, he plays a freshman QB. They're playing a freshman QB because they forcibly made their quarterback room terrible, paid a freshman $15 million, and this is the road they went down. That's you don't get to run away from that, because if you didn't want to play Bryce, you could have paid him and brought in a QB ready to play. You have the financial wherewithal. Larry Ellison and his wife. Yeah. Look it up.
Because I'm quite sure if you decided you were going to go with, was it Jaden Davis?
Oh, he stinks.
No, I'm saying, but also, wait, so what did I pay all this money for this kid to hold a clipboard?
No, but the point is you could have gotten a 1 year. Like if Michigan.
Well, I think they did, and they went out and got the Fresno State quarterback.
Mikey Keene sucked at UCF and Fresno.
Mike, he was he was good enough to hold a spot for 3 games.
He was a patsy.
Right. He was going to be there for 3 games.
You know what they could have done if they wanted? I'll tell you what they could have done. This is how much money they have. Okay. They could have gone out and got Carson Beck. They could have him playing quarterback this year. They could have gone out and got Zacharias Branch. They could have done whatever they wanted. They chose this life.
Oh. You know what?
And I think part of it is more that he didn't build the right roster.
You know what, Mike? You've earned this.
That's why I said there were 2 portals since Underwood got there. Figure it out.
And it's not hard to get good wide receivers. Even my bum-ass school did it. Where were they to go get an Amari Kelly? Where were they to? They could have done it. So they chose this life.
Amari Kelly would be all Big Ten if he would have went to Michigan. Because he would have gotten every throw.
And they're really just a good wide receiver away from really elevating themselves. Let's go to Dylan, 97.1. Dylan, what's going on, buddy?
Hi. So last year was kind of a wash because we had no one who could throw the ball. So I felt bad for Moore for that one. He kind of got left holding the bag by Harbaugh. This year, I think a freshman quarterback, I tempered my expectations to about 8-5, 9-4, which I'm hoping. I don't know if Sherrone Moore can get us to a championship, but the bigger question would be, who do we get besides Sherrone Moore? Because I don't think any big names are leaving another big school to come here.
No, and this isn't, I want to reaffirm this, Dylan. This is not a year in the business of looking for a new coach. That's not it. It's just an idea about the long term. Has this guy shown you enough to believe we have our next great coach, or are you still in the evaluation phase?
I'd say the evaluation phase.
Okay.
But just on that way, I don't see anyone big coming here right now, and I don't see anyone. I sure don't want James Franklin.
No.
So.
Dead giveaway. No, but here's the thing, Dylan, with the NIL situation being what it is, and I know I can be a cynical bastard. I don't believe in this clearinghouse or Deloitte or any of that. The big programs are doing exactly what they want to do, and you're one of them. So if the day came Sherrone wasn't here, with as long as the money that is flowing in, you guys have done a brilliant job in getting NIL where it is. You'll have a line of coaches who want to coach here. Look, Curt Cignetti just got a raise to $11 million a year at Indiana, Dylan. You ain't gonna have no problems finding a coach.
And and let's face it, it is Michigan. So I think you'll have the same. It'll be a little bit of a problem because your ego will get bruised a little bit, because I think Penn State's ego is going to get bruised. Oh, it's Penn State. Everybody wants to come here. Wait, Cignetti just turned us down? Oh, boy. But in the end, if Michigan were to move on, you'll get a coach. I'm quite sure of that.
Please. Give me a break.
You know what? He may even bring his family with him.
You do not want that. Go to Adam, 97.1. Adam, how you doing, buddy?
Gentlemen, how are we?
Good, Adam. What's on your mind, pal?
Well, I'm a lifelong Michigan guy. I graduated from the university, blah, blah, blah. my whole aspect on Sharon Moore and the university as a whole, I guess maybe I'm one of the realistic ones, is he's not the guy. You've got several reasons why, and it fumbles down to things like the in-game decision-making he's made, the scandals and distractions, whether some of that's been inherited by him or not, the inexperience and lack thereof working on gaining experience. I just don't see it. I don't know if people are just in denial, but there's so many issues and even on-field issues like the wide receivers that you guys have pointed out, like Bryce Underwood, the expectations being so high, leaving him in an unfair situation. But then you look at the USC game where you're getting absolutely smoked, and towards the end of the game, you have a chance to maybe work on some things or maybe try to push for, maybe one score to not get totally embarrassed. And we're kind of just walking up to the line, and it's like there's 9 minutes left on the clock, guys. Why am I seeing this for the third year in a row where there's no sense of urgency with this team? And that falls on Sharon Moore's shoulders.
Yeah, no, it's hard to argue. And Adam, listen, I think we're approaching it pretty fair. I don't have the answer. I'm not impressed by him. I'm also not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. The problem I have, Adam, and you tell me, we've created these impossible situations in this NIL era. So it's like, okay, so let me get this straight. The donors are going to fund this insane price point for this team. God only knows what players are making, right? But then you call up and you make complete sense, and you're basically telling me it's a gap year. You're going to take a year off from school to be a bartender in Barcelona, and we'll get back to it next year.
It is.
How can it be that way?
It is. And honestly to your point, that's unacceptable because all the Michigan fan base and alum want to say how prestigious we are and everything like that. There shouldn't be a gap year. And people can argue about Alabama being down or things like that. Does Alabama have gap years? What happens if they have a quote-unquote gap year?
Someone loses their job.
There.
Yeah.
Right. Kalen DeBoer was on the hot seat. So, yeah.
Exactly.
No, and Adam, to your point, like, I look at a program like Texas A&M who hasn't won a conference championship since the 90s, like the Dr. Pepper Big 12 title game. In 2 years, Mike Elko has him in the top 5. Like it's just, this is the world we're in. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. If Mike Elko in 2 years did that at A&M, well, then what is Sharon's excuse if, and I don't know this is happening, if he loses 4 or 5 games this year, well, then what's the purpose of all of it?
Right. Well, Mike, I'll let you guys go in a second here. I just do want to say, again, I'm a realist. I'm always going to root for my team. I don't see us making it past Washington this weekend, and it pains me to say that. But from what I've seen, and again, like I said, I watch every game. I'm going to root for my team. I don't know if we have what it takes with him leading the team.
Yeah.
I feel bad for some of the guys around him. I feel bad for some of the veterans on this team. I feel bad for Bryce, and I feel bad for Justice Haynes too because he is a dog.
Oh, he's very good. I mean, he's got second round pick written all over him.
What I saw defensively last week, or the 7 guys in the box from Wink when they have a tight end who pushes out wide. I mean, how many times did we see a 3rd and long where they just looked up and saw, okay, 7 guys in the box. Here you go. Let's just.
You had enough for Captain Pit Vipers?
Yeah, Adam,
you had enough?
Adam, here's what you got to hope that Lincoln Riley didn't show the blueprint on how to beat that Wink team.
No, it's simple. Wink's career showed the blueprint on it. I told these Wolverine fans they were not going to be happy with this blowhard.
Right. If you a 7-step drop and your defense is going to look great.
Wink needs to be able to bully the line of scrimmage and, you're going to play football in a phone booth? Oh, yeah, then I'll kill you. But he's got one speed. If you go speed and space, does that ring a bell? He can't handle it.
He doesn't adjust.
No, because he's stubborn. Why do you think he's not in the NFL?
There was some guys wide open like, wait, did somebody pick? Well, no, he's just wide open. Like maybe somebody ran the wrong direction or 2 people are covering. No, I don't know. Okay.
Go for it. You just provided your own segue.
Hey, imagine if your Wi-Fi was a lot smarter. I'm talking next level. Picture this. Your phone, your laptop, your smart speaker, all your devices Everything in your home working seamlessly together. That's the dream. And Xfinity makes that dream a reality. With Xfinity, your devices are so in sync, you'll think they're actually telepathic. It's a really smart Wi-Fi that knows when your devices need a boost, so you'll never have to deal with lags or dropouts. It also has built-in security that shields your kids from online threats. And that smart technology pays off huge on game day. Because the other day, look, when people say hey, come over to the house to watch the game over there, and you get there and you're looking at, like, this is your setup? Really? It's lagging, it's buffering. No. We're switching between apps trying to find the game. You don't have to do that with Xfinity. If you call yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. Get all the best games all in one place, plus get enhanced 4K, so it feels like you're right there at the stadium. That's the magic of Xfinity. It's seamless, in tune with you. To get started, call 1-800-XFINITY, visit Xfinity.com, or just drop into an Xfinity store today. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Here we go.
Yes.
I know what this is. All right. Let's hear it. David, I need you with me now.
The NFL Top 14 Power Ranking.
All right. Niners number 1. We can just be done with that.
No, actually.
All right.
No, the Niners come in at 14th, and this will probably be their last time in this poll.
Thank God. ATL, do your job. All right, let's go. Niners are dead. They're done.
Niners
Warner's
at 14.
Done. Bosa's done. Every receiver's hurt or playing hurt, and Purdy's a rat. It's over.
But if they win.
Yeah, Fred Warner's ankle says hello. I don't care. Go to 13. Wow. I've had enough.
You know what? I got a call from the league. They buzzed me down and said Kansas City at 13.
Ooh. I think that's too low.
Wow.
They're playing better football. Script writers are not. Rashee Rice back this week. The offense, the passing game looks better. Probably a little low. I mean, I'm fine if you want to make them earn it, but that's a little low.
Yeah. I think right now, they're playing the best out of their division.
You know what's going to happen too? script writers, they're going to go out and trade for Breece Hall or Alvin Kamara.
Yep, you're
and
right.
then you're going to have a real effing problem on your hands.
You're exactly right.
So it's fine. Let Rico keep bleeping all over him.
At 12, I got the Jags.
That's acceptable.
I think the fishing vest holds them back. Look, I don't think they're as good as they've been because they are so dependent on turnovers. And the defense has created them. But it's hiding the fact Trevor Lawrence has only played one excellent game this year. That was against the Chiefs. He's got to be better.
At number 11,
the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, yes.
Brought to you by Paulson's
I
Audio and
disagree,
Video.
though, but
Pistons
I
star
hear
Jaden
you.
Ivey underwent knee
balls.
surgery today to
They're
relieve
4-1.
right knee discomfort. The
Their
team says it's
victories aren't that
unrelated to
great.
the
No,
fibula
not at
injury
all.
You know
last
what? You can
season.
only
He'll undergo
play
rehab
who's
now
on your
and be
schedule and beat who's on your schedule.
But I'm just tired. Like, what kind of blood oath did Tomlin make with Satan for this team to always end up right in this position? Why can't they just go 3-14?
Well,
I'm
hold on.
tired of it.
Because we ain't hit November or December yet. We're just going to go downhill from here.
Unless you win tonight, David.
Nope. After the night, it's downhill.
Okay. We'll see. But I didn't think they would be at this point right
That's
now.
true. That's very true.
So at number 10, I have the Denver Broncos.
I'm good with it. I think they've got upside of being the second best team in the AFC. Sloppy performance last week, but it was halfway around the world. The offense still isn't clicking full speed ahead. That's the missing piece. The defense, the pass rush, it's all there. The offense has got to get going.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because everyone wanted to focus on the Jets part of that game overseas. But the Broncos only scored 13 points, and they did not look good. They have to fix it.
And again, I don't think they're going to score a ton this week against the Giants. They're just not sharp. But luckily, there's time, and they're winning on their way to doing so. Hey, remember, guys, they got screwed. The script writers were out in Indianapolis. They got screwed in that game. That penalty flag was 38 seconds late on the field goal. So they're even better than the record indicates.
I mean, I've seen worse. The Ohio State-Miami national championship game.
All-time script writers.
They had hats and T-shirts on. At number 9, I have the Green Bay Packers.
No, way too high. I you know what I've termed them on the podcast? Empty calories. I mean, they're great between the 20s, but something's missing. The running game isn't where it needs to be. And if you look at their second half splits defensively, they fall off a cliff. You basically got Jonathan Smith coaching the Packers. And you look, you know it's bad when LaFleur's talking about it publicly, saying I was meeting with Jeff Hafley, trying to figure out what our problem is. I can't have them in the top 10. I watch them. The talent's there. It should look better than it does.
Right.
I'm
But
out.
they could argue and say we have one of the best victories so far in the league.
And I feel like if they played the Lions this week, they'd lose by 10.
They would.
But they beat the Lions.
Okay.
All
You know
right.
what?
At number 8, we have an LA team, the Chargers.
Are you on drugs?
Yikes.
No. I mean, without Pipkins and Alt, they can't block a soul.
Understand.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Come home this week and beat the Colts. I'll have them in the top 10. But they got to show me. Come on, man. They've been dreadful with the injuries. And their running game's falling apart. They should be another team in the Breece Hall,
They are
Kamara
searching.
sweepstakes, man. They need a back.
A team that wants to run the ball has no running back.
And no tackles.
No. Well, the other LA team comes in at number 7.
I'll live
The
with
Rams.
it. They played like crap last week, but it was going west to east, early window. They played a little flat.
They were thinking about their London trip.
Yeah. I'm okay with the Rams there. That's fine.
At number 6, fresh off of 2 straight losses, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and we have to have a conversation. They built a defense to stop the Chiefs. One problem. They're not stopping everyone else. It hasn't gelled, and alarm bells are going off is that they did a lot of work to get a bigger, more physical front there to stop the run. That's not working. Bijan is still running. And guess what? Here's my surprise face. Matt Milano's hurt again. I'm very concerned with them. Very.
You are so right, Mike. They built their defense for a possible, championship game matchup against the Chiefs, but you got to get there. You got to beat everybody else.
At number 5, it is the Mike Valeni special, the New England Patriots?
It's high.
Ugh.
I mean, it's high, but we can talk about it. They belong on this list. I'd have them more towards 10, 11. Drake May, the last 2 weeks, the level of throws he's making is elite.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Gonzalez being back has helped that defense. They need to get that running game going a little bit more. Probably need to add a back. But yes, for the first time, I'm allowing the possibility of the Patriots winning the AFC East.
Yeah, they're tied right now with the Bills.
And they've got the win over them.
tiebreaker.
That's right.
So that's why they are sitting ahead
Vrabel's
of the
about to drop his balls in Tennessee.
Since this is radio.
You got rid of me? Okay.
Yeah, since this is radio, people, I am rolling my eyes at this one.
Okay. I'm glad that I'm here for you and Mike and your amusement. All right.
I think I've largely been very fair.
There you have. David, on the other hand. I put his Steelers in there. He still doesn't care. At number 4, we have the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
Too high.
Crack cocaine. You're
Too
nuts.
high.
They still get the job. They're broken, but somehow or another, they find ways to get the job.
3.5 yards a carry on the ground. They're
Broken.
talking.
I said they're broken.
Then they can't be top 5 in the NFL.
But they still win.
You know what? The Vikings are going to beat them.
Okay.
I don't care if it's Bobby McPick6 or Carson Wentz. They're going to beat them.
Okay.
They're broken. And they're out here talking about we need to play action pass more. How do you play action pass when your run game's booty? They're only play action passing 19% of the time, which means Hurts has got to throw it 35 times a game when he really can only throw it 25 times a game. I'm all out on that.
Okay.
Plus Sirianni, punchable face. Can't be in the top 5.
At number 3, Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts.
Way too high. They're fun. It's exciting. They looked like ass last week as Jacoby Brissett sexed them up. I think they're going to go to the Chargers and lose this week if Pipkins and Alt are back. They're good. I don't know that they're that good. That's a little bit much for me.
Yeah, while I'm not impressed with the Chargers, I think still them Colts beating them would still show me something. So, not yet.
Okay. Like I said, I think that some of the best football is being played in the state of Indiana, and they're still not getting any juice. All right. At number 2 and 1 leads up to the battle for who's going to be at number 1 next week. At number 2, I have the Detroit Lions.
I'm not mad about this, but to me, they're number 1. I know what you're going to do. It's provocative and exciting, but I right now I'd have the Lions number 1. They've answered the bell. They got screwed and, yes, made their own mistakes at Kansas City, but losing a primetime desperation game in Arrowhead is no crime.
No, it's not a crime, Mike, but you talk about answering the bell. That's team number 1. It's the Bucs.
Won't be for long.
They just keep answering the bell every time. No lead is safe on them. They find a way to come back and get a victory. And they've done it now with pretty much the 3 of us maybe playing wide receiver for them this Monday night.
That much is true. All right. You can have it for a week. Lions are going to take the crown.
That's it. It's week to week.
They're beating that team.
I mean, Pittsburgh could go out there and score 50 and they'll be number 1.
Yeah, the Lions are going to win that game. And look, Baker's comebacks, wonderful, but they're hiding the fact that defense is giving up some stuff this year. So, I don't know. But 1 week, I'll give it to you.
Okay. That's your NFL power ranking.
We mentioned Northville Lumber for a long time, largest Trex decking outlet in the country, and Northville is Michigan's Trex superstore. They stock all colors of Trex decking, railing, lighting. They have it all the time and at the lowest prices. So whether you're a builder, do-it-yourselfer, you can count on Northville. They have all the Trex you need when you need it. So plan it, build it, buy it. Northville Lumber. Stop by, take home some samples, and as always, go to northvillelumber.com. That's northvillelumber.com. All right, David, couple of ticket texts. Rieger is here. What do you have?
We don't trust him, Sharon Moore, and we want him gone. Signed, all Michigan fans, or at least the ones that care about football.
Jeez.
From Fred in Marysville, he says, Sharon Moore will never be the man at Michigan. That's why I want Pat Fitzgerald to be the next coach at Michigan.
You know, it's
no,
interesting
thank you.
that name came up. I heard Jansen say that. We didn't get to it today. John brought that up for Michigan State, and I wasn't good with it or outraged. It was just a complete nothing to me. Because I view Pat Fitzgerald as like a Joe Rossi hire. I don't want anyone who got fat and sassy in the Big Ten West. I'm not interested. Plus, he's offensively inept. And I don't think the guy is going to play in the NIL space. The old college football, 7-8 years ago, I would have told you Fitzgerald would have been amazing at Michigan. Academic institution, just like Northwestern. Fitzgerald is
Plus, he would have money to actually work with.
Man's man, defensive guy. Come on.
He did it at Northwestern where you actually had to have grades. You actually went there to play school.
Truth. But I just think Pat Fitzgerald's a different version of Jonathan Smith. They are coaches who would have worked in the old world.
Oh, okay. I was
not
about to say,
the new world.
Fitzgerald's got personality.
No, I just meant I don't think their way works in the new world. I don't see Pat Fitzgerald paying an offensive lineman $6 million and being okay with it.
That's a great question. No, I'm still laughing at Jonathan Smith as a used car salesman.
Hi there. These are cars. They have wheels. My name's John. It sure is nice out.
Go ahead. Try the horn out.
Beep, beep. Honk, honk. Let me know if you need anything. And proceeds to play solitaire in the corner.
Take him on a test drive and he's on his phone.
He's in the trunk. Dave, go ahead, please.
Moore is like the parent who wants to be a friend to the kids. It doesn't work or help the kids. You're right. They need presence. Jim in Jackson.
Man, oh man, Michigan fans are hopped up here. All right.
You know, because, Mike, I think they kind of see, okay, expectations were high.
Yeah.
And when you really have that come to Jesus moment, you realize, you know what? We're not at the Ohio State, the Oregon level.
Not when you don't know the other team's place.
And here's the other thing. Look, State fans are jealous of Indiana. I think they may be a little jealous of Indiana. Like, why are they winning and we're not?
Here's the other thing. They're going to dust Washington and all this is going to go away because UW is fake as hell. The only time you can play UW is when they're in Husky Stadium. Name me a road win I need to care about for the University of Washington. Don James was probably head coach.
21-point comeback in Maryland just a few weeks ago.
Like I said.
They scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
It's Maryland.
And they didn't need turnovers. They
Maryland
just got the job
done. Crab cakes and football. That's what we do. Riggs, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, boys? I loved the school book conversation.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Hopefully you're not being a smartass.
No, I did. I did. I like that you gave people 3 choices. And I think you guys figured out something I think I figured out a couple days ago. People are still furious about Game 5
They
and
are.
Tarek leaving after 99 pitches.
They are.
It's going to be one of those things, isn't it? It's going to be one of those things in Detroit sports that you never forget.
I think so, especially when, look, I said earlier the interesting strategy for the Tigers is to do a Bregman-esque deal and make it public. And you don't pay him 40 or 45. You pay Scooble $50 million a year. Let's say it's a 5-year deal, $250 million, opt-outs after every year. And he turns it down because Boris is a maniac.
Right. And then he's the bad guy.
Boom.
Yes. And it's like almost it's like Ben Johnson almost a little bit all over again. He becomes this beloved dude from being a beloved dude to like totally booed and hated.
That's right.
Yeah. I hear you.
What are you doing next?
All right, so I'm going to help the people. We're only on the Pistons basketball, guys. We got a 35-minute show. So I am going to do my best to help the people get over what they can't get over right now, which is Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs.
The script writers.
I have a plan, Michael and Rico. By the way, has anybody picked that up nationally?
Yes.
Adam Schefter talk about it yet?
No. You mean bought and paid for ESPN?
Ian Rappaport talk about it yet?
Oh, no. Not when the NFL owns 10% of their network.
Isn't that amazing? It could be one of the biggest stories, it seems like, in a long time. Nobody. Dial tone.
Bunch of bums.
Yeah, so we're going to do that, and then we'll get you up to Pistons basketball. I know it's a game you guys will both be watching.
No.
Oh, okay.
All right. You two will take everybody.
Tomorrow.
Yes, I got a father-son trip.
Enjoy.
I appreciate you helping out tomorrow. Keep him in line. Don't let him ruin my picks, because I know what he's going to do.
What?
You're gonna do all the things you know I wouldn't do.
Okay, my picks are horrible, so
Noted.
I can't help
I
out
mean, that's
anybody.
fair. The only reason Jimmy asked me, "Hey, can you do the show?" and I said, "Only if I can play Who Said It," and he said yes. So I'm like, I'm in.
We're not playing that.
Oh, wait, no, I'm out. I'm out.
Just
right, we're out of here.
That's my cost.
Just because I'm not going to bring you happiness.
That's mean.
Tremendous. We'll talk to everybody. I'll talk
You're
to
my
everybody
friend.
Monday, where we're gonna drop a bomb on the Bucks, baby. Guaranteed. Talk to you later.